Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Yeah. Hey, let's go. Okay, we got the marching orders from Kool-Aid. Let's go. We're trying to get KG to stick around. He's got his favorite shows, and he's decided, you know what? We're gonna just stay.
He knows his space.
He's got the morning, and he's got Big D energy. He doesn't want to be part of this, and he's like, I've got a life.
I think he doesn't like black people.
I'm tapped out, is what he said.
I'm Legion. I don't look like him, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm just joking. I'm just KG.
Wait, do I? I hope not. Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. He's just tapping out. He's like a big boy at a buffet. I've had enough. And you're done.
Buffets back in the day, man. Remember Old Country Buffet on Sunday? Old Country Buffet on a Sunday after church?
It's funny you say that because
how many
Ruby
people,
Tuesdays?
But how many people got sucked into, I'm going to have a bunch of rolls and salad first?
Yeah,
That's how they get
the
you.
rolls.
the salad
for sure.
would get you. What was it? I went to Ponderosa.
Oh,
Ponderosa.
that's
And
big money right here.
It's like
That's
when
big
you're
money.
right there.
No, it's funny because I went there as like an adult. I went there as an adult. No, we used to lie about the age so we get in.
What's the one on DeQuinder?
But, no, it was actually in Flint, I believe.
DeQuinder.
You had
And
one
was
on 8
not the
Mile
same.
and Van Dyke?
It was not the same. When you go as an adult, you're like, hey, is this chicken? Nah, it wasn't chicken.
Bro, stop ruining my childhood, Ricky. Stop.
Bro, I still
Is
remember.
this chicken? No, that's not chicken.
not
What the
chicken.
hell is it?
Ponderosa
It's
My
good.
childhood, Ricky.
If you had a party back in the day, like when you're in college, high school, whatever, back in the day, Ponderosas was the move.
Detroit
You can
Ponderosa
get 50 wings for like 25, 30
Oh my
bucks.
God, it was amazing.
50 wings for 25,
We used to get
30
it for the
bucks.
Super Bowl.
That was the one, 100%.
Hey, Brian, man, my
Shout out to
grandma.
Ponderosa.
Every event, every
Old school,
birthday,
you know
it
what I'm
was
saying?
Stouffer's mac and
Nowadays, you got to
cheese,
pay to get that.
and then it was Stouffer's mac and cheese and the Ponderosa wings.
That
Oh,
sounds,
Stouffer's, you're right. We used to go to
sounds good right
Myers.
now.
Buy the
Yep.
big one. You sit in 45 minutes.
yeah, like
the
That's
family
what-
size.
you know what
Yeah.
time it was.
You got poker holes in the plastic?
Spoken like individuals that couldn't cook.
That sounds really, really good. What's the one place, if you said you went there, people would look at you and almost laugh?
In a good way or a
in a
bad
good
way?
way.
In a bad way. Like, dude, save some money and go someplace else.
Depends on
What
what's-
was it? I don't want to be too offensive to people who like these places or the places in general, but there is one particular place, and I actually used to work
Lafayette,
there.
Coney Island.
No.
I was being
That's just 2 years ago.
and then it came back, but okay, they would laugh at you.
They would shake their head and they go, "There's no there's two places. No
Sign
way
of the
could you
beef
get us
carver.
going." That's one of them. That is one of
Sign of a
them.
beef
Well
Sign of the Beef
played.
Carver was
Well
the most
played.
bland food.
Yeah.
I've never
It
been
reminded me of Frankenmuth. Remember going up to Frankenmuth? Everybody's like,
Yeah.
you got to go to Zender's. You got to go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Zender's.
yeah.
You go to Bronner Brothers. You go to Birch Run. And then afterwards, you go to Zender's, which is in Frankenmuth Village.
Yeah.
And you wait 2.5, 3 hours for the driest chicken you'll ever taste in your life.
Yeah,
Like,
it
that's
was-
what
it was
Sign of
so
the Beef Carver
boring.
was to me. I hate the Zender's chicken. It's bland
was
as hell.
so
Hey,
boring.
and you got to wait 2.5 hours to get it.
I'm with.
And the house, the house resembles a different kind of house from back in the day.
I'm with Braylon. I think it's really overrated.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to go to
Well,
this place.
you
Why?
got to think about where it's at. It's in Like, there's nothing. There's no seasoning out in mid-Michigan.
Well, I mean, look,
Then that makes it overrated.
Yeah, exactly.
100% because
We
the
got
signs are
seasoning
all
down
around
here.
the
Like,
state.
I'll take Chicken Shack over that.
100%.
100%.
100%.
R.I.P. Chicken King.
1000%.
Did you ever eat Chicken King? Is it downtown Farmington?
Chicken
No.
King.
R.I.P.
Oh,
Chicken
I know where
King.
Chicken
Oh,
King.
my
You know
God.
how? You know why I know where Chicken King.
Oh
is.
yeah. Oh my God.
What's
R.I.P.
the other
Chicken
one
King.
though? Sign of the Beef Carver is one.
Okay, that's one.
Okay,
Anybody with a
I
guess?
don't know.
I retired. I got one. I'm
Yeah,
good.
you were dead on there.
I'm good.
No, I
Sign
don't
of the
know.
Beef
Red
Carver.
Lobster.
I used to see
Red
it.
Lobster?
Red Lobster.
I
That
don't
was
see- I
that
don't
was
do
viewed
Red
as,
Lobster.
dude,
You know
make
what?
some more money. You're going to eat that food.
Now, see-
and I worked there in college,
Now, hold
busting
on,
tables
Shep.
to pay for
Now,
my
Shep,
way through
there's-
college, and I saw them. I'm like,
You got
is
a lot
there
of black
enough
folks
grease in
about
here?
to
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
a lot of black
It's
folks
different
about
than
to
the black.
jump
Now
on.
look,
Lobster, right?
I'm
black
in the middle.
lobster?
I'm in the middle because I have a shellfish allergy, so I've never been to Red Lobster.
Oh, okay.
wow.
But I
Well,
know in the
consider
black
yourself
community,
fortunate.
in the black community, graduation parties,
Yeah,
anniversaries,
birthday
all
parties.
Beyonce even take her man to Red Lobster.
I will
She
agree.
does,
Hey,
she does not.
It was in her song.
She
so it
Catches
must
them
be real.
live in the ocean when she's someplace. She'll go down to Italy before
she-
she'll go to
is she
Red
catching them
Lobster.
herself?
Huh?
Is she catching her-
hell no. She doesn't do anything herself. Would be
Red
my guess.
Lobster, I will speak to you, Shep. I will say this. As a black staple, it is a black staple. People are going to jump you. But I actually tend to agree with you on this one. I'm not agreeing because you and I, we're doing this thing together.
No, you can.
I think black lobster is overrated. I think Red Lobster. But that's what we call it.
Hey,
You know, like-
why is it a staple in the black community? Educate me.
I don't know. I didn't go.
Because it's bad. It is bad. There's no way you go. I
to
really
answer
like
that question
shrimp,
is to
and you
get
go
in
there.
trouble. To answer that question is to get in trouble. There's not necessarily back then affordable good seafood, so I think it gave you a way to, go out, get a seafood experience, even if it wasn't a good one. Give you a seafood experience, and then it turned into other things. It turns into the cheddar biscuits. It turned into the bottomless salad. It turns into the drink menu that they have for you, and it just became a thing. Food wasn't good. Like, I went there as a kid. I agree with you. I didn't necessarily overly like it.
Yeah, my suggestion has always been two things: either find someplace else, or go without.
There wasn't a lot of places that
or-
offered that, though.
The Detroit River, it would probably be better. I mean,
Detroit River? Wow.
Catching something from the
I'd
Detroit
pass
River
on
would be
that.
better.
I'd rather.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'd rather eat at Arthur Treacher's if we're talking about the Detroit River. Sign me up for Long John Silver's. If we're gonna do the Detroit River, I might as well
Yeah,
get a
you
couple
might as well
chicken
go.
planks
The
and a
Hush
couple hush
puppies,
puppies.
they're elite.
Yeah, we call it a day. Detroit River? Oh, no.
Look, I'm just
You
kidding.
know how much Hennessy and other stuff is in that river?
Right?
Yeah, that's
So I didn't know Ricky is allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, shellfish
But
and
you do eat
peanuts.
fish. You don't have to have shellfish.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I know. I love fish. I'll eat salmon and whiting and stuff like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Same here.
But just not shellfish and peanuts, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
The peanut allergy was always there, or is that like
Always, man. My whole life.
What
I
happened?
always
mom even
question
threw up
people
when
like,
she ate it.
oh,
Yeah,
I-
son.
What
had a
happens?
peanut
Like, does your
allergy.
face blow up as big as your ego? What
Everything.
happened?
It's funny. A guy at a restaurant asked me, "Could I do?" He's like, "Could you die?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've never died before." But yes, I get like
That's
the
a good answer.
Will
anaphylactic
Smith
shock,
from
like
Hitch.
the
There you go.
itchy throat and all that stuff, and yeah, it's bad. And they shoot you full of steroids.
Man, so it is really like hits then, like Bray
Yeah,
said.
and it sucks 'cause I love food. So anything I'm not allergic to, I'll try. But I'm allergic to half
Hey,
good
you know
stuff.
what? He's not even lying. He came in here with like the world's best brownie. He was like, "B, I need you to try this because it could be peanut butter here. I don't know."
Yeah.
He was sitting there
I
like
couldn't
really
tell.
like I'm ready to eat this. I was
Because
like,
it was
"Bro,
cold. When it's
I'm
cold,
sorry,
you
but
can't
it's
smell it
peanut butter."
good.
Oh, you didn't ask.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I didn't ask anybody. I had already came back. I was like, wait a minute.
Is
man.
Olive Garden on that list since
It
Red
could
Lobster
be.
is?
I haven't been there in a long time. I would say
It's the
no.
same.
It's the Italian version, I suppose. I mean, look, there. Let's
If
talk
Red
about.
Lobster's on that list, then so is Olive Garden.
Okay, we can call our significant others out sometimes. They can be a little bit more restaurant snobbery. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
So I took my son the other day to a downtown Birmingham establishment for brunch.
Okay.
It was a birthday. I wasn't going to name, but sure. And there were only three of us.
Shout out to him.
All right.
No shout out. $110.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's Birmingham, baby. Welcome.
Shep said no sound.
Go to
Look, I'm not a cheapskate, but I'm just. Wait a minute. I had a waffle for crying out loud.
Yeah.
My wife had eggs. My son had an omelet.
in Birmingham though. That was
Well,
a Birmingham waffle.
It's Birmingham.
Right.
When you look at the surrounding areas in Birmingham, especially on that side, which technically is this way, look at the cars.
I do.
Like, looking at the cars will let you know what you're gonna spend.
No, you're
like,
right.
the average car in Birmingham is gonna be upwards of $65,000.
Easy.
Like, that may not sound like a lot. That's a lot.
Easy.
The average car in Birmingham, maybe more, realistically, maybe upwards of 85. Let's say 85. A lot of Porsches, a lot of BMWs, a lot of Beamers, a
Saw
lot
at
of
least
Range Rovers.
5 vets because we ate outside. At least
Guess
5
what?
vets driving.
There's your
by.
110.
You see a
There's
Rolls
your
Royce.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And they have the ability to charge that because people they're trying to get to Birmingham.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they
Just to
just
spend
they want to
110
be
to
there.
feel like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm in Birmingham.
I had a buddy who lived in my neighborhood, really nice house. but his wife wanted to walk to coffee in Birmingham.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, all right, what do you want to do about it? Let's sell the house. He had a pool. It was really nice.
He had a yard. They don't have
Had a
yards
yard.
in Birmingham.
Bought a house in Birmingham.
No yard.
Had to
No
rip
yard.
the house all the way down to the studs. He's a do-it-yourselfer. Redid the entire thing. Electrical, plumbing, the whole ball
Sounds
and
like
chain.
extra 350. Just
Okay,
storing
just
it out there.
right. And he says, you know how many times my wife has flipping walked to coffee? Twice.
I could have told him that.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? It's the fact that you perceive that
Yeah.
you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You
Right.
perceive, if I live in Birmingham and I walk to dinner and, we can actually hang out and
He
have
could've paid
dinners and we don't have to drive. We don't have to worry about this because we can just walk home. Nah, that's not how it happens.
Yeah.
I don't care where you live.
So
I know a bunch of people live over here. They all drive.
They
They
do.
3, 4, 5 minutes and pull up. They all do.
Or get it delivered. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
That would have been way cheaper.
So he
Ooh,
invites
good
us
call.
over 2 weekends ago. He says, hey, let's go out to dinner. We go to this place. It's an Italian joint. I say to the guy, what do you recommend? He says, the lasagna is the best lasagna you'll ever have. And I said, okay. Because right now the best lasagna I've ever had is in Rome. Okay, not to be a snob, but the best lasagna I've ever had is in Rome.
But don't lie to me about my lasagnas, though, man.
Excuse me.
Did
Well-
you make the noodles?
And the guy looks at me and says, well, that's a
Ristorante.
different level. And I said,
Well, yeah.
you said the best.
Yeah,
I said,
exactly.
so I'll get it, but it better be damn good. It was pretty good.
Stand on business, Shep.
Yeah.
I like
I just
that.
think like if you're going to an Italian restaurant and I ask you, hey, what do you recommend? And the thing you recommend is like pasta.
Yeah, it's not very.
I'm not gonna disbelieve you.
What would you expect? Steaks?
Yeah, just it doesn't have to be steak. No steak, but just give me something. Don't just say pasta. Like give me something. Explain it a different way. Pasta is pasta. Like
I get what you're saying. You
You
want
get
them
what
to
I'm
talk
saying?
about,
Like,
do we have this croissant with this aioli on it?
Of
with
the
this, like,
other 1,000 restaurants
He
around here
says
that
croissant.
serve
Hey,
We're out to
Italian food.
dinner. We're out to dinner, and Ricky goes, hey, do you have a croissant?
it depends
I really
on
love
the
a
type
croissant.
Hey, croissants go a long way. I'm still to this day, I'm very upset that J. Alexander got rid of their honey croissants back
Oh.
in
Shout out, J.
2009.
That's good
10.
food, by the way.
Alexander's,
Jay Alexander's got
J.
really good
Alexander's has been my consistent staple since the first time I ate there. You ask me my favorite restaurant, I will say J. Alexander.
That's
Because
the
you've never been
carrot cake,
disappointed.
Because I've never been let
Oh,
down.
the carrot
The
cake.
carrot cake is
I
crazy.
didn't get let
bro.
down in Florida, New York,
Just fall
Michigan,
down, yeah.
all over the country.
Yeah.
1999 is the first time I had J. Alexander.
Yeah.
And it still has never let me down outside of getting rid of the biscuits.
It's like
I
Los Tres
agree.
Amigos.
Their baked potatoes are the size of a helmet. It's unreal how
Loaded
big
baked
they are.
potato- Their Caesar dressing. Their Caesar dressing is
Their
is
pasta
top.
soup
We
is to
like
die
food.
for.
Oh my God.
Sorry about the pasta, but it's
Yeah.
true. The pasta soup
Rattlesnake
is outstanding.
pasta they used to have
It's
is
pretty
really good too.
It's pretty damn good too.
100%. So.
Yeah, that's a really good call.
J. Alexander
hard
might
to-
be in my my Wednesday future. I think we just talked it up. Know what's for dinner now.
Steak bites, the mushrooms.
Ooh, mushrooms.
telling you,
I love
Jazz,
Bring
mushrooms.
it on,
I
man.
love
We talked
mushrooms.
about that the other day.
So now
mushrooms
that
on
we're all
pizza.
hungry, you guys
Right.
want to go to lunch? I
Right,
mean,
let's
holy
just
cow.
stop the show, bro.
DoorDash
Let's
is
end it
a
right
thing.
now. Let's just end it. Go get something. to eat.
DoorDash
So
is
it's
a
over.
thing.
Thank you, guys.
I am interested, though. I thought, first of all, in case people missed it, yesterday's show with Braylon's breakdown was simply outstanding. I would strongly recommend you find it on our social media channels, Woodward Sports, and check out how he broke down Amik Robertson's ability to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown, and what I thought was even more impressive, not just because it's in his wheelhouse as a wide receiver, but how good of a route runner that you can see Jamison Williams becoming. So I would strongly encourage you to find that. When we come back, I do want to dip back into the Lions and their training camp. Some of the things we've recognized as much, if not more than anything else, and what has left us encouraged going into preseason game number 1 that oftentimes doesn't mean squat. But first, this means a lot to people. Ven Johnson's ability to represent and help you any which way you possibly need.
If you got a crisis, let Ben point you in the right direction. Step 1, you verify with details and photos. Step 2, you engage your attorney. And that should be Ben Johnson Law because he is the fighter. And then step 3, you notify. Notify your insurance provider. Want to make sure you get that information to them so we can get this process rocking and rolling. Remember, Ben fights and wants to fight for you. That's why Ben Johnson Law should represent you next time you have anything happen in this matter. Get justice, Ben at Ben Johnson Law, benfights.com.
Yeah, and you're looking to upgrade your relaxation game, as you should be. It's just stressful out here, man. Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. They are located on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He's the wellness doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. So make sure you check that out, man. Book a visit right now, massagechairhouse.com, or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's hot summer sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The hot summer sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials, if you guys want to make sure you get a leap on it, make sure you scan that QR code that is above my head right now so that you can get the 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew, lease that for $189 a month. The 2026 Equinox, man, that boy looks tough. They got it all blacked out too. I love the rims. It's a tough look, man. All for just $209 a month. Come on, guys. This offer, it ends August 10th, so get there quick. And then you can use it, yeah. Whether you got the YouTube app or whatever, you got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, whatever, you can play Sean Belegian in the Morning with Maz through your car, through any device you got, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, everything, man. We're pumped, man, for this new show, and I'm glad you guys have been supporting Monday through Friday, 8 to 10, 2 Detroit sports legends. They've teamed up to bring bold takes, big laughs, and unfiltered Detroit sports talk. Expect breaking news, guest interviews, interactive segments, and that classic Detroit fire. So grab your coffee and start your mornings Monday through Friday with Real Detroit Sports Radio, only on Woodward Sports Network. And we back.
Who approved those pictures?
Not me.
Probably
Like
Mr.
Sean,
Lentz.
Sean looks like a grizzly bear that that has killed an elk and someone's getting close to it, and Maz looks like he's squeezing one off. Who approved those?
Well, okay, well, when it relates to Maz, all his pictures are interesting. They all have like interesting faces on it, but it's Maz. It is what it is. Sean, isn't that what you expect?
Right.
Isn't that what you kind of expect with Sean, like a grizzly bear yelling at you about what's going on,
Like you said,
sports
Jerry
wise?
Goff!
100%. He's having us over. I want to say in a week or two or a couple weeks.
Yeah,
He'll
couple
have
weeks.
us over. He has a little
Watch party.
Yeah, we have a watch party, so we'll all go over there if you're
I
free
didn't know
that
about
Sunday. Well,
That's interesting. Ricky, did you get that invite?
I didn't get the
I
invite.
didn't get that invite.
It's
You know
in-
what? You know what we
no,
were just
no.
told subtly. You know what we were just told? You are not an A-list person.
It ain't A-list. It's the Woodward Sports Chat. It's 40 people in that chat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
yeah.
where I saw it.
Well,
So-
obviously
wait,
Ricky's
is it
not in it.
Slack?
Neither am I.
Ricky's in it because Ricky just commented today about something else and everybody was
it's in that
laughing
one?
at.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's in that one.
I must have missed that message.
Long story
That's my
short,
fault.
we will be going over there, and that's how he will be looking at the TV and looking at the ribs and looking at everything else. So that's how I see
One more
Sean
time
Belegian.
Here's what I
Sean
say.
Belegian.
I mean, when Braylon's invited us over for dinner, Sean Belegian's inviting most of us over for barbecue.
I'm staying out of it.
Now, it's almost like what are those parties in neighborhoods where you go from house to progressive party? Next up, it's
Block
got to be
parties.
Ricky's
Block
house.
parties, yeah.
Block
Block
party or
parties.
progressive
Yeah.
party. So now,
My
after
house-
Sean,
my house
it'll
is
be
under
Ricky's
I used to
house.
love block parties.
Ricky goes, mine's under construction.
It is. I got a fixer-upper, man. Don't really come to my house.
Just in case people are wondering, we can keep you updated. Arizona and the Tigers are tied at 1. Chris Paddock making his Tigers debut today as the starter. He's given up 3 hits and the 1 run. So we'll keep you updated on the Tigers game.
So how cool are you with the players, especially like pitchers? Pitchers throw the ball. How cool are you with them like playing catch with a football before the game? It's been a thing, I guess. We were talking about that beforehand.
Yep.
How cool are you with that?
Yeah, I think it's great. Here's what they do. They will. That's how they oftentimes get their cardio in.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of strength and conditioning coaches, they don't want to just send you running all the time.
Gotcha.
This is a different way to run. So they'll run routes, and people will throw them passes. Sometimes the pitchers are running the routes. Sometimes they're throwing it. I don't think they throw it quite as often as many people might think. They're usually running routes and getting the football thrown to them because there's too many things that can go wrong when you're throwing.
I hate giving credit to this individual for anything, and I don't know if it's even deserved, but I feel like I didn't see anybody playing like the football that wasn't football until the Olympic team, into the NBA, and one individual who thought he was a wide receiver, LeBron James. Like, once they start playing around the Olympics in 08 and then 12, I started seeing it in multiple sports. I'm just throwing it out.
I'm sure you've talked about this, so I apologize for the redundancy here. Did it bother you? And I don't even know why the hell it bothered me. Maybe it's because it's LeBron. But did it bother you when everybody said he could play in the NFL? And
yes.
I bet it would.
Yeah.
It did.
It's like
It 100% did. Because I think because people they accepted it, they took it, and they said, 100% he could.
Yeah.
And it was like it was an automatic assumed truth when it couldn't be further from the truth. They don't get me wrong. I've seen his high school highlight tapes. Yeah, he had a couple catches. He's 6'8". He's playing against little kids out there. So yes, he did some things in high school for sure. I give him credit for the high school career. But to take that, go to the NFL and be a 6'8" wide receiver, like they would have broke your ribs in half. Like, stop playing. Like, I disagree.
If he had gone the route of college football, if he had gone from high school, and he had plenty of offers, if he had gone from high school to the collegiate route and groomed his game a little bit more, I could see it.
No,
what bothered me is people feel like, well, he plays in the NBA. How about just taking him and moving him right to the NFL? He could do that. He's one of the few athletes who could do that. I just totally disagreed with it.
That's why I have a problem with that in the age-old conversation in terms of who are the best athletes, because they give it to basketball players, and they're like, yeah, see, LeBron could play in the NFL. Bull, you know what comes after that.
Yeah.
Bull, you know what comes after that. LeBron's soft. LeBron is soft. To play wide receiver, tight end, it takes a level of physicality. It takes a level of mental toughness, knowing what's coming. Now, LeBron is strong mentally in his game. He is a bully that the NBA allowed to be a bully. They allow him to run to the lane, do what he want to do, put his head down, and lay the ball up like a bull. They allow that.
Yeah.
Like 100%. That's not going. And then he didn't fight any of his battles. He didn't fight anybody in the NBA. Like, anytime something happens, he looks at the ref and he walks away. You can't do that in the NFL playing that position. Because when you got to run a slant route, and you know Ed Reed is right there, and also Terrell Suggs is right there, and also Ray Lewis is right there, you can't go look at the offensive lineman like, hey, can you help me out? Right. You can't go look at your fellow wide out like, hey, man, he hit me. What you going to do about it? Nothing. Get your ass in the huddle and let's roll.
Right.
That's
so well said. He's not worried about Kyle Kuzma going down the lane. Right. He's worried. He's got to worry about a safety or a linebacker who might crock him in the middle of a route. Absolutely. The only thing I would say about LeBron James is, and he's built like a brick, you know what?
Agreed.
And he is super athletic. We get that. Doesn't mean it always translates. When you said wide receivers have to be super, I mean, Bill Schrader with the alligator arms is immediately where my mind went. So there are guys who've played the position who you can say have not been that type of NFL tough.
Yeah, this is true. I just think when you have a commissioner that lobbies for you and makes rules, so if you touch number 23, and we've seen it before, don't get it wrong. I mean, he had to grow into that Michael Jordan. But after a while, it was like, you touch 23, you know what comes with that.
Yeah.
Mid-90s to the end of his career. That was LeBron's whole career. If you touch 23, you will no longer be in this NBA. Like, let me make this clear to you. That's not going to happen with Paul Tagliabue, which is the commissioner when I was in the league, and then Roger Goodell. We're not we're not changing the rules for you in that sense.
That's an interesting thing, because you even look here, like at the league level, they got it made for Bron.
Yeah.
Even amongst the player and acquisition level, you got his, well, I guess it's not his agency, right? His best friend's agency.
It's the one he started
out there doing,
that he stole from Melo.
Yeah, talk about it, bro. Like,
100%. That
did
Melo,
you see what I'm
Melo
saying?
created clutch on the plane, and then they stole it after Miami. But yeah, they lobbied him from it. Also, see, basketball didn't test for HGH. NFL tests for HGH. You don't remember when LeBron left Miami, and all of a sudden he gets to Cleveland, and then all of a sudden he has this random back injury, and he has to go back to Miami and spend a month and a half, and then he came back and he didn't look like the same LeBron James.
Yeah.
That's because the NBA started testing for HGH in 2016. So he had to wean his body off and wean his body back into conditioned shape. Difference. Can't do that in the NFL. So that 265s looks a lot different if you're not on the juice, OJ. It looks a lot different.
When you talked about him complaining, I just go back to that time where he complained about somebody in the crowd and like brought the ref over and like pointed to him. Like, get him out of there. They were talking
Tattletale in the
about me.
cellar.
Like, I can only imagine what Ray Lewis would have said to him.
Yeah, they would have called him out as a crybaby and a little tattletale, wouldn't they?
Send him across the middle.
No, seriously, that's what they would have done.
Yeah.
It is a
100%.
totally different sport.
It is.
And just because you bring up an interesting thing about who's the most athletic, and I understand why you feel like football players would be, and just so the record is clear, I think LeBron is third all-time in free throws attempted.
Yeah.
Third all-time in the history of the league. Only Wilt Chamberlain and Karl Malone have more, but Karl Malone was yoked. Okay.
And Karl Malone, I believe in. Like, I may not like him as a person, but it has nothing to do on the court.
Yeah.
That joker will fight you. I don't want that smoke if I'm an NBA player.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of what sports is that there's so many unique things that, like you're super athletic, but I've played softball, charity games against NFL players and basketball players, and it's a lot of them. It's kind of embarrassing. Like they don't know how to throw a ball.
Yeah.
You played baseball.
Really?
It's painful to watch.
Interesting.
It really is. So I respect all athletes at whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. As Wayne Gretzky once told, Michael Jordan, I can play your sport. You can never play mine because you can't skate.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I don't know if that makes them more athletic. It's a skill set, but it's a really fun discussion to have. You would know because you've played certain sports at a high level. Bo Jackson has played at the highest level. Deion Sanders has played at the highest level. Brian Jordan has played at the highest level. Danny Ainge has played at the highest level. I'd love to get their thoughts on what it takes, and I'm sure what they would all say is different skill sets for each of those sports.
At the end of the day, every sport has a level of it it's ridiculously impressive.
Yeah.
Every sport has a level where you just have to take your hat off to the players. Whether you're talking about football with a U, whether you're talking about football with two O's, basketball, baseball, lacrosse, it just goes on. Yeah. I just feel for my sport, like when I see a DB have to run 4-2. Let's say the receiver runs 4-2. Well, that DB has to check a 4-2 receiver,
right,
running 4-3, running backwards while watching the quarterback, checking the sideline, and then turning at the interception we saw yesterday with Amon-Ra Robinson.
Yeah.
You got to do all that in the fly.
Yeah.
Like all that you have to process in that sport, it adds to the athleticism of it. Basketball is a ridiculously athletic sport. It's ridiculous. They're so gifted. It's not too much minutia, and
it's a lot of freelancing.
It's a lot of freelance. In football, Amon-Ra Robinson has to start the play. This is the defense. I've got him. We're in cover one. I know I don't have any help on the backside. Now I have to watch his inside hip. I got to watch the quarterback at the same time. I got to run the route backwards. I still have to keep phase with the quarterback. I then also have to phase what my safety is doing, all while checking him. And, oh, by the way, he tried to give me a BS move to the right. Now I have to think, is he going to run the post? Now I got to play tendencies. Now I have to go back to the film that I watched throughout the week. Yeah. And so now it's like, I think he may be going here. You know what? The hell with it. I'm going to test my knowledge. Boom, jump, interception, and it works. All that he had to process, 5.2 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, he can't touch the guy.
5.2 seconds.
Man,
so
you know
I
what?
just think with that, it just adds a different element, just for me.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that because I've always said being a cornerback or a DB in NFL is the hardest position in sports. And we always talk about, like, could you hit, what was it? We say, could you get a hit in Major League? We never think about, like, do you think you could actually guard a receiver?
Hell
no.
Exactly.
No.
Like, we know.
Hell no.
If you ever put pads on, like, nah.
Hell
I couldn't do
no.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
I played in the NFL, and I played DB a little bit in college. Like, I'm not telling myself I can go out, and this is when I'm in my prime, by the way.
Right.
I'm not telling myself I can go out there and check Calvin Johnson. Like, it's not going to happen. Right. It will never happen.
What would be really fun is putting a GoPro on somebody and watching Calvin in his prime, or Braylon, somebody of that ilk, run that route and just see how physical, how strong, how fast, how high you have to jump, and all those other things to really appreciate. The only thing I would disagree with you, Ricky, is you said cornerback. I respect the hell out of it. Quarterback is, I think, the hardest position in all of sports because of what Braylon was just talking about, what you have to register, how quickly you have to decide, and how many different positions you have to know.
I think you guys mixed two. I think you guys are saying different things and the same thing. I think he was more so just talking about the athleticism side of things. I think you're talking about the actual hard side of things. Yeah. Both of you guys are correct. By the way.
Great,
I've said that about – I think goalies is really hard, but a lot of that is reactionary. A lot of that is athleticism. I mean, you have to learn to push from left to right and all those other things, and you have to think of tendencies in 2-on-1s and so on and so forth. But when you're the quarterback, you're trying to – I mean, what we talked about a few weeks ago on Netflix, that series Quarterback, was so enlightening about all the things that they have to process within 25 seconds.
Yeah.
So Braylon's in the huddle. So, for example, what was your favorite play call? I don't care if you're in Cleveland, New York, San Francisco, wherever. Do you remember the name of it?
Yeah, Michigan. It was ping.
Ping.
Yeah, that's the simplest version of it. Like all.
But you had to remember one part of the call, correct? The quarterback has this long call. You remember your part of it, correct or no?
Let's say it's 100% of a play. I have to remember. I got to remember like half of it.
Okay.
So I don't have to remember the whole play, but half, because I need to know what side. I got to hear what the formation is, what side I'm gonna line up on. I got to hear what the actual is the slot. I got to hear if they reverse the switch. So is it rip or Liz? It tells me if I'm inside or outside, and then what the actual route concept it is itself. Okay. And then for a wide receiver, running back, and tight end, offensive lineman too, it's always the audible part. Like if you're running this route and it's covered too, does it go to something else? So I got to know that before the snap. And then if it does go to something else, what does it go to? You got to be on the same page as quarterback. But I can get away with, 50%.
Okay. The quarterback has to know all of it, though.
140%.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
100%.
And what everybody's doing on the play.
Because there will be people, well, not so much on the Detroit Lions, but there are people that are going to come to that line of scrimmage, and they're going to look at the quarterback like, I've been there before. Like, it sucks. You get to the line of scrimmage, especially, you're a 2-minute drill. You come back, you get in the huddle, you miss something.
Face. Can you do it again?
You get to the line of scrimmage, and you're like, oh, shoot, what's the
then
play?
It's all just eyes. You got the mouth guard in. It's just That's funny.
That's why you got to have a receiver like Amon-Ra St. Brown to get you tight.
I was about to ask you if you ever had a situation where you might have forgotten or didn't
Jericho
get the play,
Cotchery.
but you
Thank
still.
That's all I got to say.
You already know Jericho Cotchery.
Jericho Cotchery, 100%. Jericho Cotchery was my Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, he knew everything and didn't mind tell you. He was so soft-spoken. Like, I didn't have to yell at Jericho. I'd be like, yo, Jacob, what I got? He'd be like, yo, B, what you got? You got a dig on this one. Hey, B, got a slant on this one. Because I just got to the Jets. So the first 4 or 5 games, I'm like, what was that again? So shout out to Jericho Cotchery. Amazing player and amazing coach, too.
How long did it take you to memorize your playbook?
Well, luckily, Mark, they didn't give Mark a lot of rope. Okay. Mark was a rookie quarterback that they didn't give a lot of rope to, so we ran the ball out. So it wasn't much. It wasn't much, but there's a couple.
Okay,
they didn't get.
That is so funny.
They had a system for Mark Sanchez, which to the day I look back, and we were really like a juvenile system. I don't know how we got the 2 AFC Championship games. They had a red light, amber light, green light system for Mark. His freshman first year, halfway through his second year, because they didn't like the interceptions. They didn't like him all over the place. Mark got drafted like barely 20. When he got drafted 5th overall in 2009. So if it was red, you could only hit the first read. There was nowhere else you can go with the ball. If the first read wasn't there, you check it down, you audible the play, you run it. If it was amber, you get 1 or 2.
Really?
You can get the second option. If the first option's not there, you can get the second option. If it's not there, take the sack, run the ball, audible, etc. Wow. And then obviously green light is green light, but I didn't see that card too much.
Yeah.
I didn't see that green light.
That's interesting, isn't it? That's really interesting.
That's why he should not be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't understand it. I do not understand.
I didn't know that was a possibility. That was a thing? People thought he was going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, you never know. I heard Deion Sanders, but I didn't hear Mark Sanchez.
Brian Schottenheimer.
Brian Schottenheimer is now, but I heard in the offseason that people wanted Deion Sanders.
Well, I was saying that was the guy that came up with the system.
Oh, that was the guy who came at the system.
Brian Schottenheimer was my OC.
I'm sorry. Okay, I thought you were talking about Mark Sanchez. No. I was thinking about you guys last night because after the Tigers game, I'm sitting there flipping around. I'm like, what am I going to watch?
Tigers won again.
Yeah. And they're up 2-1. I thought, what am I going to watch now? 30 for 30, which is done exceptionally well. Most of them was on, and it was the Buffalo Bills.
Four Falls.
And while I'm watching it, of course, while I was experiencing it as a football fan in general, I never said that, they're choke artists. I never said that they haven't accomplished anything. I never said they were losers. Getting there 4 years in a row to me is mind-blowing, especially the last year when they had the comeback against the Oilers. They had to come in as a wild card and all this other stuff. There were parts of me Frank Reich. Yeah, couldn't get it done, unfortunately, for them in the Super Bowl. But those are the things, when I was watching that, I was thinking about the football mentality, the bounce back, the small capacity to remember things, forget things quickly so you can move on, and just our business in general, where we are so quick to judge on whether or not a team is good or bad. And I think it was Steve Tasker brought it up during the docuseries where he said, why were we good enough, or why were we considered a good team to get there 3 years in a row, but if we lose 4, we're considered a crappy team? It's a really good question, don't you think?
I've never even thought about
how would
the
you
fact
view
that
them?
they got there 4 years. I always just think about the fact that they were a dud team.
Right. So how do you look at them?
I think this is how I look at it, because I've watched that a couple of different times. It was excellent, by the way. Really it was that's when 30 for 30 was when they're prime. Now 30 for 30, you get one good one every 5 or 6 ones, but that's when they were cooking with grease, because the 85 Bears one was, I want to say, either right after that one
was really good
or right
too.
before.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills, that stretch, they're one of the greatest teams in NFL history. Like, they were the favorites, in my opinion, in terms of how well they played. They were favorites in 3 out of 4 of those Super Bowls. They were better than the Giants that year. Giants snuck to the playoffs. People don't remember that. That was the end of Lawrence Taylor. That was the end of what they were doing. Snuck to the playoffs. Beat the Buffalo Bills and shouldn't have beat it because they missed the field goal. Then the
because they didn't make adjustments. Bill Belichick dared them to do something, and they didn't adjust. But go ahead.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Getting back to what I'm saying, going into that game,
yeah.
I think they were better than the Giants. They were better than the Skins. Cowboy teams, I'm going with the Cowboys, but I could see if you say that you thought they were better. They had the MVP in Thurman Thomas. They had Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer, and this is the truth.
Yep.
They didn't get it done. Like, those teams are great, and they can be the what-if team, much like the 70s Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
At some point, you got to seal the deal. Marv Levy, you were one of the greatest coaches in NFL history at that time, maybe still. You got the 4 Super Bowls. You're still one of the greatest coaches of all time. At some point, you got to make some adjustments and figure it out. At some point, Jim Kelly, you got to make the play. Thurman Thomas, the fumble at some point. And he had a hell of a playoff run all 4 of those years. At some point, Bruce Smith, you got to make the sack. At some point, Thurman, it just has to happen. Because 1 excuse, 2 excuse, 3 excuse, 4 excuses outlandish. I think they're one of the greatest teams in NFL history. But at some point, you got to seal the deal, and they never could.
That's interesting that you say that. There was, you said, Bruce Smith, you got to make the play. He had, in that first Super Bowl that they played the Giants, he had Jeff Hostetler's wrist in the end zone, and he and Thurman Thomas were part of the docuseries where he said—
They watched it together.
Yeah, they did watch it together, and he said, I still don't know how he held on to the football.
Yeah.
And people forget that with the Giants. Phil Simms was their quarterback. He was hurt. Jeff Hostetler led them to the Super Bowl.
NFC Championship and
That's
the
right.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's a hell of a run for him.
100%.
So when people talk about, well, you have to win with superstar quarterbacks, I don't disagree with that, but there are plenty of examples. But everybody turns to Trent Dilfer.
Nick Foles.
Jeff Hostetler's a pretty good example, too.
Brad Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the most commonly, like, you can get there. Right? Vince Ferragamo got his team to a Super Bowl. They didn't win it.
Jake Delhomme.
But he got there. Jake Delhomme's a really good example.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah. All of them.
Wow. Down the street, actually.
Yeah. So all of them, really good examples. Speaking of football, the Lions are ready for the Chargers, we hope, tomorrow.
Lions fans.
You hadn't heard that one.
That stunned me. That stunned me for a moment. You're not going to see Tate Ratledge or Tyleik Williams tomorrow.
Neither.
The first or the second round pick. Neither one, according to Dan Campbell. I just ruined Ricky's day. He's out of the booth. Ricky's like, look, I'm going to sit in the chair the rest of the day, man. I'm so pissed off. So what we were told by Dan Campbell is, I think they're going to play against Atlanta. Okay, they're not playing in preseason game number 1. Why would that be? Where's the benefit there?
That's weird.
Dan Campbell and the new NFL coaches, they don't like their players playing in game 1. Kind of like when I was playing, game 1, we didn't play. Like when I played, it was 4 games. You didn't play game 1. They just didn't have you do it. I don't like it from the standpoint there's only 3 games. You don't have that much time. You want to get some reps out there against someone that is not wearing the same helmet as you once the season starts. But maybe from this point, Shep, that first preseason game, you're going to have a lot of guys that are not going to make rosters playing in this game. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a lot of guys that are out there trying to make things happen. They're going to be all over the place. It's going to be wild a little bit. It's reckless abandonment. It's a little bit chaotic in game 1, especially this new 17-game season, NFL. Do you want to have Tyleik Williams and Tate Ratledge out there with guys that are trying to overly prove they belong to the Los Angeles Chargers? This is me trying to find the method and why. Like, do you want to have those guys out there when you got guys that are out there reckless abandonment that may not be out there? They're trying to do any and everything, maybe even some Christian Wilkins type things.
Boy.
They're trying to do any and you like how I did that, didn't you? You like that little grabbage? No, but they're trying to do any and everything. And do you want your guys in there to get a dumb injury by somebody on the Chargers trying to prove to Jimmy Harbaugh that, hey, I belong on the Chargers, and I want to show you that I want to start today with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind?
Yeah, it's a fair point. And as you know, there's usually 3 preseason games. Because you're playing in the Hall of Fame game, you get 4 this year.
Okay.
The Lions do. Anyway,
okay, excuse me. My apologies.
As do the Chargers. Well, you knew that. You just said 3 because that's what everybody else gets.
Yeah.
The only thing I wonder about is if you're getting used to the speed of the sport, and it is different. It's going to be different for Tate Ratledge than it was at Georgia. It's going to be different for Williams than it was at Ohio State. Those are just facts. The NFL is much faster.
Is it, though? Like, is it in game 1? The NFL is faster in the sense of the veterans studying the game and knowing the game and being out there. Like, this is a lot of young guys that play in these first games. A lot of guys that don't.
Do you think the Chargers are resting? Like, why not give them at least a couple of series? I guess would be the question I have. Okay, just to get used to the terminology and all the different nuances.
I'm on the same team. Like I told you, I do not like the fact that they don't play in game 1. I think you get all the reps that you can, especially against opposite uniform. Like I believe in that. That was just me trying to, maybe they do that. Jim Harbaugh's going to have some guys playing in this game. Mm-hmm. Like, I played for Jim in San Fran. Jim is as many reps as you can get. You may not see Justin Herbert. You may not see some of the stars, but you're going to see guys that start for Los Angeles Chargers.
One of the more convenient things we use as a fan base, and when I called Lions football preseason football, I used to hear it all the time, why don't you play these guys X amount of plays, X amount of series, X amount of quarters? How much do you think of that is planned, and how much is based on how well they do during the game?
It's a plan, and this is what we want to do. You have a pitch count on which you have guys, hey, look, I know I want this guy to see 2 series. I want him to see 7, 8, 9 snaps. I don't want this guy to do that. Like, that's the plan. But sometimes in a game, you're getting real game experience of something that you may not be able to practice in Allen Park, something that you may not see. It's a 2-minute drill that starts on, the 7-yard line, and you're getting real life. You know what? Hey, come back in the game. We need to get you in here. Insert wide receiver that you want to get these reps.
In a certain situation,
Yeah, in certain situations. Like the ones that you practice that are practice and they're not real in games. If you see those in preseason training camp, you'll do sudden change is a big one. Mm-hmm. The defense gets an interception, they get it in the short field. Now you want to get your defense out there. All right, cool. Let's get the defense out here. Let's get them used to this. Is a short change. Usually what comes in the short change are trick plays or gadget plays or shot plays. Get them in there right now in that emotion. Sometimes they happen organically. So that's when I know you weren't going to play, but we got to get you in here for this moment.
It'll be fascinating from Lions fans because it would have been, I would guess, one of the few times where they're really looking forward to watching the interior part of both lines because those are the first 2-round picks and those are the people they want to watch. Yeah. Now who do you want to watch? I mean, how much time are you going to give? If you're not going to give the rookies any time, how much more time are you going to give certain players that we're really excited to? Let's use Aidan Hutchinson as an example. He has supposedly looked like the best player in camp. Doesn't matter the position. Doesn't matter which side of the ball. He has looked like the best player in camp. We'll get Braylon's thoughts on that when we come back. But first, we want to put you in some new gear.
Hey, you guys already know it is the Get Fresh segment. Got the Tigers hat for the mojo. We got the Woodward Tigers gear that you guys can get from the shop. And just before I tell you guys about some more of this merch and where to go to get it, shout out to Michael Wary with the $2 super chat. He says, good afternoon. Late today. The Tigers are now up 4-1. Kerry Bonds.
It's actually 5-1 now.
5-1. Let's go. Shout out to Michael Wary for that super chat. And then a little bit of news. Shannon Sharp let go by ESPN today. The former NFL tight end.
Does that surprise you?
You don't say. You don't
Keep it in your
say.
hands, Shannon.
Tell him, boy.
She was only 19.
Yeah.
Why don't they get it? Honestly, why don't they get it?
I don't get it, bro.
And when I say they, I mean guys. Why don't guys, especially at that network,
Yeah, right.
why don't they get? By the way, that's happened a lot at that network. A lot.
Talk about it. I like that.
I interrupted the spot and I got Braylon just talking. You know what? They now have access to something they haven't had. You don't think Shannon Sharp has had access to that stuff?
Hold it. Hold it. I'm about to cut it.
I thought
Shep, ask him that when
I
he
thought
get
you
back.
meant the women part of it. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, Kool-Aid.
Hold on. We can have this go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Press pause,
I'll
right?
mute them.
Yeah, right. Press pause on it. Save it. I like it.
The music got us. The music got us talking about it.
Look, are you tired? Oh, let me get Shep teed up because he got to get the people fresh right after me. Get the gear, get the cut. You tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop. And once you get the gear, go ahead and get the cut too. Mr. Shep got you guys covered.
You've got to get the cut because the gear can only help you for so long.
Tell them.
You've got to look sharp. Okay, you can look better than me, obviously. You can look like Kool-Aid. You can look like Braylon. That's the ultimate. You can look like Ricky. They're all better looking than I am, but they
come on,
all
Shep,
go
stop it.
here
Come on,
to
Shep.
Lady Jane's.
You're a silver fox.
Let's be honest here. We like things that are simple. Most guys do, right? I mean, when somebody says, what's your perfect day? How many of you are getting really complicated? Nobody. What you want is you want to look sharp. You want to look sharp. You want to drive in a nice car. And you want something really nice on your arm. Okay? I don't blame you. You deserve that. But in order for you to have the latter two, or at least the last one, you've got to look the part. And you got to go to Lady Jane's. It's uncomplicated. You walk in, you sign in, and before you know it, you're handsome, you're clean, you're ready to go, and you have nothing to do with Shannon Sharp. Lady Jane's, open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, Injury Insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce. You know him, you love him, Michigan Sports and Spine. He is our guy. Tuesdays with Big D Energy, Thursdays with us here on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. What can't he do, man? Look, he can diagnose anything. He can fix anything. And if he can't, he knows the people that can. You want to work with him, man. I'm telling you. 248-426-9944 or scan this QR code. Make it easy. Whatever you got. If you're a golfer, you're a bowler, if you're just a parent that just had a little twinge in your back, like, what's going on with my back? What's going on with my knee? What's going on? Dr. Pierce can get you right. He got you. And you'll see him tomorrow, man. I'm telling you, Dr. Pierce is the guy. I trust him wholeheartedly. 248-426-9944 or scan the QR code above my head.
My guess is that Sean Belegian invited him to his barbecue. It's just a guess.
People were like, what's wrong with Ricky's voice?
Is Shep in the Woodward Sports Chat? We got to get you in there.
I think Shep's high. You got the Mad Packs? You get some Mad Packs in the back?
But Shep will get invited and not come, though. Shep will get invited and not come.
Sorry, guys.
Sean invited, he won't go.
That's probably true.
Well, you know I'm golfing.
All right, if I told you can place a $1,000 bet and lose, you get your money back, you probably think I'm crazy. And I'm not, man. It's real. Scan the QR code or enter the code Woodward1000. And if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back just for giving it a shot, man. Minimum bet has to be at least $20. So download the Caesars Sportsbook app right now. It is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use the code Woodward1000 or just scan the QR code on the screen. Get that app today.
We back.
Yeah, I would just remind folks, I invited Braylon to play golf on Sunday, and no response.
First of all, my apologies. I saw that by the time I was gonna respond, it was something that you sent out another text.
Just break them all.
By the time I was gonna respond, you know,
it's no worries. So just before, Kool-Aid,
Revive it.
Kool-Aid said that Shannon Sharpe has been dismissed from ESPN.
Yeah. Shocker.
It is, like, I know they're the worldwide leader in sports, but they're also the worldwide leader in some controversy with some of their talent on camera. You were pretty emphatic and passionate about why you think he was let go. What's up?
I knew once I saw the nightcap show, it wouldn't be long before he would no longer be on ESPN. I am not. Look, this is no shot at Shannon Sharpe. Look, he did some dumb stuff. This isn't judgment. It's the truth. When I saw the content in terms of how they were talking on that show, I knew what he was doing in his personal life, and I knew it was doing just as much as he was doing with ESPN, and also the little tidbits and how he carries his show with Chad Ochocinco and whoever else is on there. That started to rear its head at 10 in the morning. Like some of the comments, some of the language, and some of the things that you can't carry over a nightcap show where you talk about boning. You know what I'm saying? And when your sponsors are Rose Sparks and, you know, you're talking about, hey, this is how you extend your pleasure. This is what it is. You can't flip that and turn that off and then go to ESPN and put a suit on, play a button up. Now, how he keeps getting in trouble, it's just like any other one. Shannon Sharpe made $22 million in 14 years in the NFL. And he made 5 of that in one season, the 2000 season with the Baltimore Ravens. We know how that season ended up, one of the greatest seasons of all time. He signed a $100 million deal in April.
Yeah.
He was slated to make over $100 million, and he also still has a lot of money because of the Colin Cowherd deal with Nightcap. When you get access to that type of money, you start hanging with different type of people. When you start hanging with different type of people, you start getting comfortable with what's around and what's going on and what people are doing. He never had money like that. $100 million, it puts you in different people, puts you around different things. There's different energy. You don't have any wives. You mess with these young girls. That young, what you spoke about, is much different than 50, 60-year-old. It's different. That's how you get yourself in trouble. He didn't stay true to all that country stuff he talks about that got him to the NFL, that got him on. He dialed out of that because he got comfortable with the individuals that he was moving with. When you see Shannon Sharp on Fox doing an amazing job, has this, and he's also never been out front like that. When he was making his money, he was making it as a football player. Now he's out internationally. Why are you fighting with John Morant's dad at Crypto Arena?
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you fighting with John Morant's dad courtside at Crypto Arena, and you are Shannon Sharp that everybody knows, and now you're making the most money you've ever made?
Straight zooted, too.
He got caught up.
But the other thing is the average Joe out there who's not pulling in $100 million, he's lucky to make $100,000 per year, is saying, how do you jeopardize that type of contract? How are you not smarter than that?
Well, I'm not listening to the average Joe out there because that's exactly what they do. They judge everything they see on TV. So I don't talk. It's tough. It's tough for the average Joe out there. It's tough to be in these spots. And that's why I say I'm not judging him. It's easy to say, well, it's $100 million and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. We don't know who he is. We don't know what makes him tick. We don't know what demons.
No, but you're the one who brought up the $100 million.
Well, I'm telling you,
if a guy's going to make that much money, you've got to be a little bit smarter than his actions have led to his firing.
Technically, you don't, because he's showing you don't, and you get fired.
But
you should be.
That's the loss. Yeah, that's him losing it. So if he were smarter, he
but
wouldn't
like
have
you
lost
said,
it.
he got comfortable with certain things. The situation with the girl, you could tell he just got comfortable with certain things, and then
his life, his
when
tough,
we hear about it and the public hears about it, it's completely different. But we judge it a little different because we're not in that lifestyle.
When you even with Shannon, and this is the thing, if you're the average person, and you come into the lottery, and you hit for $700 million,
disappearing.
Your life changes. Your life changes. Like, simply put, let's not even say $700 million because it's crazy. Let's just say this: you're an average person, you work an average job, and you hit $420 million. Your life is gonna change. You're gonna start doing crazy things.
$4 million might change me.
So that's what I'm. So that's what I'm saying.
Seriously, I mean,
and so
I
for
make Kool-Aid money.
and for Shannon, who already had money, he made 22. That don't mean that he still had that.
That's right.
He made 22 throughout the course of his 14 minutes. Now he's enslaved. That's just the media deal. That's not all the sponsorships.
Right. Everything's at stake is the point.
That's why we are mad at Shannon.
Yes.
That's why black folks are mad at Shannon.
100%.
Like, you blew it.
You don't.
Come on, man. Like, you were there.
I don't judge, but you blew it.
But I don't think you have to be black to say he blew it.
Yeah, but he was representing for us in a different way,
it's
so
just,
it's
that
different.
representation.
You can be mad too, for sure.
Yeah.
But like for us, it's like, man, like if Stephen A. Smith blows it, like black people gonna be a little more mad than white folks.
Right. Because we don't have that much representation at that level.
Yeah.
It's just a numbers thing.
And I do appreciate Shep's perspective on it, though, because it is. It's on both ends.
But at
of it.
ESPN, you have a lot of representation. So I'm not sure
Not
why.
at that
Yeah, but not. Yes, but that's semantics. You got a lot of people that are hiring.
Okay, well then I would ask this: how many is enough for representation?
No,
it's not about that. It's about being at that level.
Yeah,
it's one
just
thing to be
ESPN,
like on the network. It's one thing to be on the show and be a filler or kind of do things like that. Stephen A. Smith is in front of the network. And Pat McAfee second. Shannon Sharp had put himself in a situation where he might have been fourth at the network.
Exactly.
And in limited space.
Yeah.
So that's more so.
That's what it is. He was higher tier than any other people. Most people on ESPN.
I'm glad that you love Shannon Sharp too.
Huh?
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, we appreciate it.
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
Yeah.
No,
100%.
I just when we say people in general, I don't look at black people or white people being upset that he blew $100 million. I think it's people in general.
No,
a lot of people work their ass off out there to make very little money. This guy works. I'm sure he worked his tail off too.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't always come across, but worked his tail off too. For you to risk it for that,
risk it for the biscuit,
is ridiculous.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Holy cow. What were you going to say, Kool-Aid?
I hope it was good.
I was saying, I appreciate your perspective because you're right. It's on both ends of this thing. It's on both metrics. And I believe that, at least for our generation, we know our parents and our grandparents told us, be twice as good, 3 times as good. Whatever you think the metric is, go out there and work hard, look good, dress the part, talk the part, represent well, because it's not just you, but it's your family, it's other people that may look like you as people are. Hey, who are these people going to be when they walk into the room? And so from that perspective, you want to see everybody who has that type of position, especially if they look like you want to see them go out there and represent the right way. You don't want it to be a notion to where they maybe drop the ball.
This is eye-opening, though, for me. We'll come back to regular conversation. There's no color on this one. It's eye-opening because I always view Shannon as an individual that did things the right way. Like when you look at the NFL career, and even when he first started working at CBS and then Fox, like he did it the right way. It was he put in the work, great on the field. Like you can count on 84, you can count on him. CBS struggled with CBS early on, but he worked hard, found his path. He gets to Fox, he blows up, etc. Like you follow that 89 or 90 to this, like, oh, this is how you do it. This is the individual that understands it. He speaks well. He got better at his speech. He got better at his takes. He got better at doing information. And to go from that to this is very similar to what the hell is Bill Belichick doing? Like, how do you see someone just be so dialed in one space, and then all of a sudden it disappears? 2025, it's a lot more money, and it's just an interesting time, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
At least Belichick didn't lose his job over it. Boy.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
But his is public.
It was his girlfriend.
His is public, and his is mutual. His is public and mutual.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Shannon's was just.
It's always mutual until that point.
Yeah,
Until that point that either the agenda wants to press or that individual wants to press, it's always mutual. Yeah. Until it's not.
You're right. No, you're right.
Bray,
you
got the people blaming steroids on this now.
You said what?
You brought up LeBron earlier. People are blaming the steroids on Shannon's downfall.
It might be that. He might be having one of those midlife crises.
In the chat. Shout out to Stephen Wild.
All he's got to do is say CTE. Yeah. People will understand it. Am I wrong?
I knew he was off when he hopped out with the leggings on. When he hopped out in the leggings, I knew it was over.
Talking about the green and the man purse.
Yeah, it was
and
off.
the dog.
I said something's off. They're not gonna let him. He can't get too much money for too long.
It won't happen to us. We're gonna make sure it doesn't happen to us. But I feel like the more and more of these individuals in front of these microphones, they just start to unleash and they start to become a different version of what we perceive, and it starts to get cringeworthy. You're seeing a lot of that. It's just a couple cats.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this is the situation with him, but I have said this for just about as long as I've been in broadcasting. I think there's a lot of people behind the microphone who think they're more important than the people they actually interview.
Yeah. Well, 100%.
So you've got people who are in clubhouses and locker rooms, and they feel like they're the story instead of the person they're covering who actually is the story.
Yeah, that's right. Or I've seen working in radio and working in clubs, the microphone, their on-air personality becomes who they really are. You talk to them, they really were lame in high school. They never had no girls. All of a sudden, they get the mic, and they're the coolest guy in the club. Yeah. They're the best guy, and those be the ones that have 3 or 4 baby mamas.
It's funny,
5, 6 kids, dude, all over life in shambles. Alcohol problems. Like, yo, what? You're the coolest guy in the world.
Shout out to Family Man.
You know what I say to that? I say that's the father of the bride at the wedding. First time he's had the microphone in forever.
Yeah,
he's not going to put it down for a long ass time.
Imagine him getting a check.
I had this
Top 40 radio.
I had this conversation with not Joey Harrington, but Joey Galloway at the Joey Harrington golf outing, and he was just talking to him. We did an interview together. Obviously, they always like to pair Michigan and Ohio State together and just whatever. And afterwards, I was just sitting there asking some questions. He's done a great job on ESPN for a very long time. So I say, what is it about you? Like, how did you pick this path, choose this path, grow in this path, and still kind of growing, if you will? He said one of the biggest things for me is I'm just the same person off camera that I am on camera. He said when you see me, and he's just not lying. Joey Galloway is straight-laced, boring, great person. Straight, but that's what he is. He speaks the same way, talks the same way, has the same conversation. He said, look, be the same person. Don't try to do this and then try to be that, because it gets back to what I was saying about Shannon. Now I'm trying to do this from 10 p.m. to 12:01, and I'm trying to turn that off and then become this from 10 a.m. to noon. It don't work like that.
In other words, he's not a character of himself.
Right.
I think Joey Galloway's very good. The thing that has surprised me is that he's a pretty straightforward, straight-laced. He's not one of those, I gotcha moments. Let's do this for social media. Let's yuck it up. He's fun, but he's also, he talks football. Maybe that's why he appeals to me more than anybody else on that set.
I wouldn't say he's fun, but he's damn good.
But I mean, he's got a good smile, and he's willing to engage in some fun topics every once in a while.
He be hating on Michigan, man. I had to tell him about that too. I said it's okay that.
Well, do you expect anything other than that?
Yeah, I expect professionalism. Like
Desmond Howard hates on Ohio State.
He does. Well, he did at the Heisman. The Heisman was the first time that I saw Desmond take a shot. Desmond couldn't hate on Ohio State because the whole time he was at ESPN, we was getting killed by Ohio State. So he really didn't have much to say until that Aidan Hutchinson Heisman moment, which kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Well, I think we all get caught up in the emotional part of that, and I don't blame you because you've played in it. I'll never forget walking across Ohio Stadium the night before the game when I was doing sidelines, and it was John Wangler, me and a friend of John Wangler's, and they were talking about
my dad's quarterback.
They were talking about the game. They were talking about their memories of that game. And John's a good friend of mine, but I remember thinking to myself, I mean, there is something that you experience with those teammates. Sometimes they're friends, sometimes you lose touch, but there's something that nobody else can penetrate. Absolutely none. And that's not a transition to Christian Wilkins. That's an honest to God truth.
I feel like we dropped it twice. At some point, we got to talk about the foolishness that is.
We are. We're going to do that right now. Christian Wilkins has been
Gucci goo.
He has been let go by the Raiders, and there's a lot of people wondering why. There's a lot of people wondering why, and somebody actually posted, one of the players was uncomfortable because Wilkins kissed him on top of the head. Now, I'm going to be, let me just be honest real quick. I've got some of my best friends who I've known since grade school. We'll give each other a hug in a long time, and we may kiss each other on the cheek, just to say, hey, man, I've missed you. How you doing? Okay? Want to make sure you're good.
With your friends.
Yeah, we're deep friends. I mean,
exactly.
They've been with me through some of the hardest times in my life. Yeah. I'll never forgive that, right, or forget that, because they were there for me. This is obviously different. Where's that line drawn for Christian Wilkins and any team that he might
teammate, not a teammate, doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
First of all, let's start here. You come from a different era, slightly older, and that is acceptable.
Slightly.
It's slightly. But that's acceptable when you're talking about friends. You guys have been through a lot over the years. It is what it is, and boom, cool. You're talking about an individual that is still in his 20s, that grew up in this era, and he wasn't kissing nobody on the cheek to say, yo, I really appreciate you helping me when my mother was in the hospital. Right. You held me down. This is an individual that has a track record of grabbing things in pile-ups. Yes, in the pile, grabbing, for lack of a better word, testicles, buttholes, like putting his finger on your face, like in piles and things. I saw it in the national championship game, and I swear to God, I said, that's different. Like, there are players that have done things and it just mess with you throughout the court. Adalius Thomas was known for it. James Harrison was known for it. But what are you going to tell James Harrison? But that never treaded the line of, was that a pass? Was that a move? Is this his version for what type of individual he may be and what his preference is? Is this some fun for him? And he's the only one on this field, in this locker room, having that type of fun. That's not cool. Like, kissing people in the face, like, nobody wants that. Like, nobody wants you to play around. Ha-ha. There's no ha-ha with that. Ha-ha, I kissed you on the forehead. Yeah, now I got to uppercut you.
Yeah, right.
Now we got to go to war, and I'm guaranteeing you, 62 of 62 guys are going to side with me, so I think you remove that threat. He's done this time and time again. I don't think he sees it as serious. I think he sees it as a joke, and he's about to find out that ain't nobody joking like that. Like, I wish you would. Like, I don't know, that Ohio State game, I still go back to that because that showed me a lot about Ohio State, if I'm being honest.
Explain that for me.
In the Ohio State National Championship game that Clemson won, Christian Wilkins in the pile was grabbing. He was like, I'm talking. Here it is. Like, look, like this is a reach around. This is a reach around.
He was enjoying himself. He just walked away.
It's a reach around, and this is not the first time he did it. He did it again.
Oh my God!
Look at this. Let me see how far I can go and get away with it. This was live, national championship game, and this. I started questioning Ohio State when I saw this because there's no way you film this and you don't get over this.
Yeah, Allen took his left hand and ripped Wilkins' helmet off. And look at him, he's
Josh took his helmet off.
Yeah, Allen took his left hand and ripped Wilkins' helmet off. And look at him, he's
It's an individual that ain't gonna be as nice as that.
Yeah, Allen took his left hand.
How long before you do that? You do that to a Panay Sewell. What happened?
He's gay. It's obvious that he's just gay. We gotta tell him that he can't touch boys. It's obvious that he's just gay. So we gotta just let him know that he
Crazy.
can't
We
do
were just
that.
having this conversation the other day too about
What that a draft split is wild. How did he know he can? How many times has he done that?
because he been at the butt hut practicing.
At the what?
The Sugar Shack.
The shake jump. The butt hut.
Tap family.
You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. The Mosey Wozy pregame. The Mosey Wozy.
You got a lot of sayings.
Well, I grew up in the era of Make It Rain. I was in the clubs. I wasn't throwing my money, but I was in there.
I don't understand the last highlight there. I wouldn't call it highlight.
He was dropping it like it was hot.
Light.
Yeah. What's the point of the last low light? That is.
That's what strippers do at the strip club.
Yeah, that was a 100% stripper move. That was her final move.
It is.
Because that hurts
That's
me
the
just
move
watching
that gets it to
right?
make rain.
The fact that he even attempted, I wouldn't even want. If my body could move like that, I wouldn't even want to do that.
He said that's the
But it's
finishing move.
So you mean to tell me you had this Christian Wilkins and Deshaun Watson on the same team?
Oh no!
Remember they came out with a Swamp Things, 30 for 30 Untold on Netflix. I need to see that Clemson tape, but I need a real tape. They lied in Swamp Things. They played it nice to Urban Meyer. I want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
I want get that information out there because a lot of these dudes is ducking and riding.
Keep it in the closet.
Hey,
Keep that one.
Nah,
Shout out to the Shep family too, man.
You better start putting it out there because somebody gonna end up in a hospital and maybe end up in the morgue. People don't play like that.
Shout out to the Shep family, man. I see 2 girls, 1 Ramos is in the chat. He says, "Hey yo,
what a transition."
He said, "I tune in and first thing I see is a
Drop
drop
split.
split. What the f? What did I miss?"
Yo,
Bands are making a dance.
all these teams talking. I'm just talking bang. Yeah, that's when I heard, it's one of those things where you hear, you're literally like, I knew this would happen. When I saw it yesterday, I sent it to Kool-Aid. It was like, yo, like ASAP, we have to talk about this.
Well, one of his teammates, I guess, came out publicly today and said in so many words, it's not a direct quote because I'm still looking for it, but hey, whatever your problem is, saying this to Christian Wilkins, we hope you find help because you need some help.
You need a boyfriend.
But I appreciate his teammates saying that because, look, like, there's one thing to be this. There's another thing to do this when nobody's asking for it and try to figure it out. Like, you got to be able to keep that in the bag. And the fact that you can't, it means there are deeper-rooted issues there. There are deeper-seated issues that he needs to address. So I'm like his teammate. I hope he gets the help he needs because you try this again. Like, this is just not going to end well if you the right person.
Do you think he gets picked up by anybody? And I don't mean picked up in the literal sense, Ricky. I'm talking about
maybe
picked up by another
maybe
team.
by that O-State player on the ground that didn't say anything.
He just laid there, didn't he?
I just this is tough because I feel like the people that picked him up, they saw this footage. They saw what this was. They had the conversations. They did the vetting process, and they still took a chance. And here it is. That was 2017. Yeah, here we are, 8 years removed, and now it's coming out in the locker room on the same team. I would be hard pressed to see one chance. I think somebody will find a chance if he takes the route like his teammate said. Okay. Get help, seek it out, figure it out, and come back with, hey, this is what was going on. This is what I thought. This is what I did to counteract that behavior. I think he'll get one chance and one chance only.
The belief is that fellow defensive tackle Adam Butler was that player.
Gotcha.
Who was kissed on the top.
What's his last name? But
when we come back, we'll talk more about.
I had one more. No, never mind.
We'll give you a Tigers update. We will give you.
He should sign with the Packers. Go. All right, go.
That's a tough one to respond to. When we come back, we will talk more about the Lions and actual football after this on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports.
Man, let me tell you about Black Rock, man, and summer of giveaways. Shout out to Gretchen Peters from Portage. Congratulations on your filet winner for the year. Now, with that one done, we have more. How about you level up your barbecue pit, man? Why don't you get one of those Traeger grills? Like, this is the season for grilling. Why not get the grill right now? You want to have that grill for football season. A lot of tailgates and a lot of backyard barbecue. Scan the QR code right here, and you get an opportunity to win that Traeger grill. And then when you scan the QR code, it also gives you an opportunity to get 4 tickets to the Big Ten home opener September 14th. This is where you want to be. This is what you want to do. It's Black Rock. Also remember, food is good. So y'all need to pull up 755 degrees on that volcanic Black Rock. See you later, KG, and we'll see you soon.
KG's still here?
At Black Rock. I told you.
He said
I knew it.
Okay, in the words of KG, this is what he said. I got to bounce.
I told you you should have got
That's what he said.
Back, KG.
He said, I got to bounce.
See, KG.
Because I worked the first 2 shows. I said, stick around. I got to bounce. A lot of disrespect right now. Feeling it right now. No disrespect at all when you go to Les Stanford. The ultimate respect when you go there to Les Stanford Buick and GMC. Great offers for you and everybody you know. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease special, $599 a month plus tax. Or you can try out the 2025 Hummer EV SUV lease special at $699 a month. Don't forget, you've also got the truck, the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation Lease Special. It's only $169 a month. It's like stealing. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. That's just a few of their good-looking rides that you're seeing on the screen. When you get there, it's going to take you a long time to get through it, but it's worth it because their inventory is massive. Les Stanford, Buick, and GMC. For all these specials, go to lesstanford.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Look, man, let's talk about these teens for 2 seconds. From 14 and 19, you guys work out for free. I don't know how many times I got to tell you that you work out for free as a part of the high school summer pass program brought to you by Planet Fitness. Your fitness is essential, but also your mental fitness, your mental health, and that's what we want to do. We want to get you out of the house. We want to get you into the gym where you feel good, man. Look, it's the judgment-free zone. There's trainers on deck to get you to where you want to be and to where you need to be. And also, if you're not a high schooler, if you're not 14 and 19, and look, we want to get you ready for the world. You may have to defend yourself against some less than reputable people, so want to get you right. You go to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
And make sure you're staying connected with us and follow us on all social platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Stay up to date for the latest sports news, live updates, and that behind-the-scenes action. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button now and be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That's at Woodward Sports on all social platforms, at Woodward Sports everywhere.
They have played 8 innings
we back
at Comerica Park, and the Tigers lead at 7-1. Chris Paddock, in his Tigers debut, 6 innings of 3 hit ball, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Not a bad showing at all. Actually, he gave up 1 run.
His first pitch to all those batters were strikes.
He was first pitch strikes to every batter?
To the first 10 first pitches were strikes.
Wow. We knew he filled the zone. I don't want to be a jackass about this. It doesn't.
Debbie Downer?
No, it's. I try to stay, and I was trying to a little reality here. One start doesn't convince me one way or the other. He could have gotten lit up.
Of course.
If he was lit up, I would not have panicked. This is not going to convince me this is the solution either.
Yeah,
okay?
100%. You can't do
because,
that
as
game.
I've said before, ad nauseum, I believe this team needed a frontline starter, not a back-end rotation starter. And I think this team needed a back-end relief arm, and they don't have one. Don't give me Randy Dobnak. Please stop. Enough. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? But I was really hoping for a guy who's better than an ERA of 5 and better than a whip of 1.3. I'm rounding up. And a guy who doesn't go real deep into games. But with Chris
Justin
Vetter.
Verlander.
No, I definitely wasn't. I definitely wasn't looking.
He's under
Justin
5
Verlander.
finally.
Oh my God!
He's under 5.
Yeah. What is it? 16 straight decisions that he didn't get a win.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who wanted that. I mean, that's another topic in itself. One of the greatest Tigers of all time. It's painful to watch him pitch.
Hang him up.
Yeah. I mean, some guys. Everybody would love to leave after winning the Super Bowl. John Elway, Peyton Manning,
Jerome Bettis,
people like that. Jerome Bettis, deservedly so, right? It's awesome. Not everybody can do that. Some guys hang on, and you're like, man, what are we seeing here? It's just really tough to watch. But kudos to Chris Paddock. Kudos to the Tigers, who will have swept the series. It's their first series win since the All-Star break. And it'll be 4 straight wins for them. So good for them. Now they got to go to Philadelphia. I'm not in the habit of taking away victories from anybody. I don't care what team you play on. You go out there. The other guy's trying to beat you too.
Yeah.
All right? They get paid. They drive nice cars. They fly private planes, stay in 5-star hotels. They get a lot of money to do what they do. You're better than they are. Kudos to you. But Philadelphia will be a different challenge. So it'll be a very interesting situation.
And that part.
With Philadelphia. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for you, between you and me, between everybody, I don't take a whole lot of stock in home field advantage. I never really have. I think it's like 60%, something like that. You know, it didn't matter for Houston last year. It didn't matter for the Tigers when they lost a couple of home games to Cleveland. I think good teams win no matter where they are.
I agree, but there are certain places that when you play, it is just different. And I will tell you like this: I have been watching the Phillies for a very long. I remember the Philly Mullets, but especially in this year, this era, Bryce Harper, they found their speed. Watching the games at Liberty is different. Mm-hmm. It is different baseball. Playoff games, it's different. That is a hard place to play. I remember when Seattle, the Seahawks, when they had their thing going, the 12th man, just certain Oracle. Now, obviously, you can say it's because you had the greatest shooter of all time in that team, but certain places just become tough, and that's all I'm saying about the Phils. There are places, one of the ones in MLB, maybe the Dodgers, the Phils, where it's like you got to put it on extra tight.
So of all the Detroit-based teams, which home field arena stadium would have been the loudest and the most intimidating in your mind?
In all time or like currently stadium?
All time. I don't think any of. I mean, Ford Field's pretty intimidating. I think right now.
Yeah, Ford Field's crazy.
That Palace of Auburn Hills in the 80s, 90s, boy, and then cycle back through to the going to work Piston.
Yeah.
Nobody. players still talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that they know Mason by name.
Yeah.
They
Shout
know
out to
Mason
my
by name.
coworker.
Got
It's a
into the
lot of
video
these
games.
players that know Anson by face because he was the Detroit heckler. Like it's a bunch. So that era to me is, I say them and Joe Louis.
Yeah, well, it helps to coincide with great teams, doesn't it? For sure.
Fair.
Joe Louis, and I think I've told this story before, you talk to visiting players, not that they liked the amenities because the locker room was trash.
Terrible.
And it wasn't a great
R.I.P.
workout room either. But when they skated onto the ice and they looked up and they saw those banners and they saw those retired jerseys of guys like Lindsay and Howe and Delvecchio, it hit home for them. They thought it was a really special place. I did not, but it got loud. You're right. It was intimidating. I
Imagine
agree
playing
with
at Boston in the 80s. Speaking of looking
the
up.
Boston Garden.
Yeah.
With the parquet floor.
And oh, by the way, you guys see number 33 who's going to tell you exactly what he's going to do that game.
Yeah.
That had to be
And
one
oh,
of
by
those
the way, the crowd is not happy you're there.
But-
In more ways than one.
You know what we liked? You know what we liked about a lot of places is that those old places you were on top of the athletes.
Yeah, it's like Iowa Kinnick Stadium.
Yeah, it's you're right on top. Like even Tiger Stadium. I mean, there was a time if you're sitting in the first row, and Lance Parrish comes out to get on the on-deck circle, it's from me to Ricky.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
far
that's
at
crazy.
all. And you can hear him swing the bat. You can hear his spikes crunching. You can have a conversation with him if you want. I think that's lost in today's new wave of arenas and ballparks.
100%. I remember playing Iowa my freshman year. This is my freshman year. We played Iowa. Marquise Walker had one of the greatest catches I've seen in college football. He caught in the back of the end zone with one hand with about 40 seconds left, and we ended up winning that game. But their fan base is so close to you in Iowa. They can touch the back of your jerseys. They're messing with you the whole game. They mess with wide receivers coach Ron Bellamy, my guy, so much my freshman year. And it's it. He got to fight with the fans. He came in the game after when the next time the offense up, he dropped 2 passes and got put on the bench. Tyrese Butler ended up catching a 77-yard touchdown, and then that's when Marquise caught the touchdown. But they were able to get to him in that space. They were able to affect the game. Fans are very much a part of the game, and to your point, when you're on top like that, they cause a wide receiver that was a junior, that was making plays, to get caught up with them, goes out there, he drops 2 passes. We almost loses the game. Obviously, Tyrese. But, yeah. Fans,
You know why.
that being on like Kinnick Stadium, it's tough. They're right there.
Yeah, you know why it's like this now. It's the same reason we can't have bottle caps anymore.
Sure.
Shout out to his name just jumped out of my head.
We gotta do a shout out segment. That's
Ron
what we
the
need.
Palace.
That's what we got.
Ron
Meta World
Shout out
Peace.
to Meta World Peace. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
The
That's
Palace.
Friend of the network. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
Palace.
I that's why I said about Mackey Arena in the Big Ten. It's the loudest, I think, because the student section is right on top of you.
Yeah.
Those people are really, really loud. I would say Mackey and then probably Indiana or Michigan State, really loud. Chrysler gets full, but they're not super loud. And I've said that about your stadium, too, your football stadium. I don't think it gets super loud. They're 100,000 plus. It's bound to. They've got some really cool traditions. It's not that I don't like the stadium, but it doesn't make you feel like if you're at Camp Randall, which you've played, and they start playing certain songs,
Jump around.
that place starts shaking.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna fall off the face of the earth, for crying out loud. Ohio State gets super loud.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously they throw stuff at you. Where in the Big Ten or where in college football in general was the most intimidating, do you think?
Speaking of throwing stuff, they're throwing some interesting things in the WNBA. The most intimidating, I don't use that word intimidating because I was never intimidated. I'm born in Detroit, baby. You know what I'm saying? 313. But in terms of that element, that feel, Camp Randall was I played there won twice, but you feel it. It's Penn State, Happy Valley was another one.
And during the whiteout, because they always do the whiteout there when Michigan goes.
They didn't do the whiteouts because they weren't doing night games when I played, so I didn't get a chance to experience that. So I don't know necessarily what that would be. Probably Ohio State for me in the Big Ten, but just that I ever played in, Autzen Stadium was nuts. Like Autzen Stadium, and it was smaller then. Autzen Stadium, or home of the Oregon Ducks, it was 52,000 when I played. I think it's like 61 now. I don't know why it's so loud. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a crown on the field. It's built like this. All the noise just goes up. But then there's no buildings. There's nowhere for the noise to go. So you know what the noise does? comes back down.
Right. Like Seattle.
Exactly. That's a tough one too.
Yeah. So you kind of slipped something in there that maybe not everybody caught. You said they're throwing a lot of stuff at the WNBA. What was your reference?
I think
there?
it could work.
What are you referencing there? Besides somebody losing a wig.
No. Ricky, this is all you. This is all you.
I didn't even find
this. This is all you. This is all you. Because you saw it. You commented. We can talk.
Do we need the clip?
You don't need it.
Yeah,
are you talking about the wig?
There was
or the throwing of a green instrument.
Fake man parts thrown on
a self-pleasure piece.
Yeah, self-pleasure piece.
I saw that.
Thrown on the floor of the WNBA game, which I think it could work for this. It could be like the octopus for Red Wings.
No. Because I'm at the game with my 5-year-old. I don't want to see a dildo get thrown on the court. What if that dildo hits my son? Or my daughter.
So just so I'm clear, if you're the general manager or the owner of the team, you would encourage that?
Look, man, WNBA is desperate right now. They need something.
They about to get shut down.
They're not gonna, what are you talking about? They're not going to get shut down.
They're throwing dildos on the court. What's next?
First of all, it was one incident by an idiot. True, but that doesn't mean they're going to get shut down.
That's how it starts. Okay? All it takes is one.
I thought maybe you were going to go where one of the players from 2 nights ago had her wig torn off.
Yeah,
and they stopped
and they called a timeout.
They called a timeout so she could run back to the locker room, adjust.
I'm watching G League.
And
turn it to the G League, bro.
And
I'm watching.
A person made fun of her and reportedly was thrown out of the game.
See what, bro?
That's what I'm talking about.
I hate it here, Shep. I don't get it. I don't get it anymore.
I feel like we've gotten to a space in the WNBA, much like the early 2000s NBA. Like, it's just a lot going on. Like, what's the regulation? How are they going to regulate things? Like, there's going to be a long conversation after this season. I guarantee you the WNBA product.
I don't think there will be. I don't think they have the right leadership. So I don't know why you think that would happen. If they haven't done something, look, if they didn't do something last year with some of the vitriol and vile actions, why would they do it now?
Because now you're seeing a little bit more like on the ridiculousness side. Before it was like comments, there was play. Let's
get back to football. Let's get back to something real here. When it comes to the Lions, we were talking about the different moves or the lack thereof of what they're going to do for tomorrow night's preseason opener. Not start Williams, not start Ratledge. What's the biggest observation from Lions training camp that has you most encouraged so far? Because for me, I think there's a couple of things. First and foremost, Aidan Hutchinson's ability, right, and how he looks to be back. And you can speak to the mental part of returning from an injury. And the other is, and you broke it down beautifully yesterday, the improvement, the seriousness on which he's attacking his craft of Jamison Williams.
Yeah, I think for me it's Jamison Williams and it's the secondary. Those are the biggest 2 takeaways I have right now. That secondary is cooking with some grease. A lot is being made of what this secondary was going to be this year. Last year, Terry Niner, a lot of holding penalties. You saw a lot of upside. We believe he's going to be a good player, but you don't know. The belief is there. DJ Reed, what is he going to be as a number 1 DB, which he wasn't his last stop? What's that secondary going to look like? How does Brian Branch take the next step? What is Kirby Joseph going to do?
What is the next step? We hear that phrase a lot. What is the next step? You just sang his praises yesterday.
I did.
Yeah, and I learned a lot from your soliloquy, if you will. What in the world is the next step then? What are you talking about if he's already a Pro Bowler?
There's that next level. I believe when I'm going to keep using Earl Thomas. I like this.
I like the example.
I like the example for him or the comparison. Earl Thomas, when he got into the league 2011, 2010 essentially, Earl Thomas was a really good player coming out of Texas. You saw the flashes. You knew he was going to be. The year I got there in 2012, he was everywhere. Everywhere the big plays were is where Earl Thomas was. He was making the sacks, the interceptions, the tackles, the freakish interceptions on the sideline. He was leading this team. Yeah, you had Big Mouth Sherman, and you had Bobby Wagner, who was a rookie at that time too.
Love Bobby
First
Wagner.
ballot Hall of Famer. So shout out to Bobby. You had all these guys. You had some really good players. It was not even a question who the best player on that defense was, though. Even with Bam Bam Cam. Yeah, you knew Cam was going to knock somebody's head off. And you knew he was going to have a big athletic play, but Earl Thomas was the best player. Stature and all, you knew it. He oozed it. And I think that's what we're going to get. Like right now, you're still talking about Aidan Hutchinson, or is it going to Jack Campbell, or is he even the best safety on the team? I think you're going to see for him in terms of taking that next step, you just know he's the best player on the team. And I think that's what's next for him. That's how good I think he is. You can just see it.
I hate to be too hyperbolic.
Uh-oh.
I don't like getting caught up in comparisons with young players with past greats. I think it's oftentimes unfair. And maybe because he's made the transition from corner to safety with ease and been as successful at one as he was in the other, my mind immediately goes to guys like Mel Blount, goes to Ronnie Lott, goes to Charles Woodson. Not that he is those players yet, but I think he has the capability to be as successful as those players because of his athleticism and because of his versatility.
100%. And I think where you give him even more grace, because you're absolutely correct. You know, you don't want to start with a third-year guy and say, hey, look, man, he's Ronnie Lott, hey, Earl Thomas. But when you start adding in factors, Brian Branch, 2 years. What has his defensive line been in the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Now, he hasn't even had a defensive line, and if I'm being honest, last year you almost had one. Aidan gets hurt, Aleem plays well, DJ Reader gets hurt, Davenport's out. He's doing that with no defensive line. He's doing that with no Alex Anzalone. And you're relying on Malcolm Rodriguez. You're relying on Jack Campbell in year 2 to take that stance, and you're relying on Kirby Joseph. He did all that last year, no defensive line, trying to figure out this the linebacker position. What did that linebacker and defensive line look like 2 years? They definitely weren't that good 2 years ago on the defensive line. We've been clamoring for 2 years. So to play at that level without that help, it's only going to get that much better when you add Talik Williams, when you add Aleem McNeil when he gets healthy, when you add Marcus Davenport, Lord Jesus, please finish the season, you add a healthy Aidan Hutchinson, and now you have 2 defensive backs that can cover their ground. It allows you more wiggle room, more freedom. We haven't seen that part. So if he was that good with not a defensive line, what is he going to look like with a really good team, like a Baltimore's defense that allows Kyle Hamilton to be the best safety in the league? He's deserving of it, but look at the defensive line. Look at the linebacker core. So I think that will help him in his evolution.
You know what the devil's advocate would say, though? He also plays alongside one of the better safeties in all of football, in Kirby Joseph. How much does that help him? Pro Football Focus rankings came out. Safeties for this season. Number 1 was Kyle Hamilton. And I take more stock in Pro Football Focus perhaps than I probably should, but I do like the fact that it's a website that factors in the same type of criteria for everybody. Okay, I think that's really important to compare. So Kyle Hamilton was 1, Xavier McKinney of the Packers 2, Jesse Bates of Atlanta 3, Antoine Winfield Jr. of Tampa 4, Brian Branch 5, Kirby Joseph 6. For what it's worth.
Yeah.
That still tells you something. I mean, we are in uncharted territory when it comes to, whether it be Pro Football Focus or anybody else, uncharted territory when we talk about the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Never before that I can recall have you had 2 safeties in the top 6, in this case, in a Pro Football Focus rankings. Have you had a pass rusher, a defensive tackle, all ranked as highly as they are in those. Same thing with tackles, same thing with wideouts, same thing with a running back. Jahmyr Gibbs was 4, same thing with a quarterback. The whole combination is there, and Brian Branch, I think, is as important as perhaps anybody else on this team.
He is. Name those other safeties real quick. Kyle Hamilton's number 1, right?
Kyle Hamilton's an absolute beast.
Look at what his defensive line, look what the linebacker core is, and now that's something similar to what maybe Brian Branch will have. Who's number 2?
Xavier McKinney from Green Bay.
Okay, Rashawn Gary, those guys, they were okay last year. They're not bad. They're going to be much better this year. Go again.
Jesse Bates from Atlanta.
Atlanta's got a very slept-on defensive line. I like them a lot. Linebacker core is okay. And then the last one.
Antoine Winfield Jr. from Tampa.
His defensive line is monstrous.
Yeah.
Like, that's the comparison I'm talking about. I'm talking about those guys and what's playing in front of them allows them to play that free and that running around and kind of have fun. Like, I saw the same thing with Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed. I played in that division for 4.5 years. Mm-hmm. So much is made about those two because they deserve it. Ed Reed, never seen anything like him. Troy Polamalu, never seen anything like him. Different, but I'll go with Ed. Look at the guys that were in front of those guys.
So, but how much of it is the guys in front of them, and how much is it them at the back end? Each position helps the other, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not taking away. Okay. I'm telling you, like, I believe in how good he is, and I believe the back end part, but they're able to do that with not that much in front of them over the last 2 years. So now that you'll be able to get that, it'll make it that much better. It'll make it that much easier. A lot of times they're fighting off blocks that they don't have to because defensive line couldn't pick up the block or they allowed it to move. So I think the secondary will help DJ Reed to be a part of it. Amik Robertson, who we saw yesterday, having a guy that can play the slot that well, it limits what Brian Branch necessarily has to do in the slot. So now he won't have to necessarily play man up. He can, but he doesn't have to. And that just adds to the level of decompression and playing.
Here's what they write about Brian Branch. They write that he further improved in his second year, established himself as one of the best safeties in the league. His 90.8 Pro Football Focus run defense grade ranked first at the position. His 88 Pro Football Focus pass rushing grade placed second. And his 11 pass breakups were the most by any safety last season. Those are really impressive numbers, aren't they? You know what it begs me to ask? How the hell is he 5? He's 1, 2, and 1. How in the world does that equal out? I'm not saying everything is an average. How does that get you to number 5?
Perception over who's even the best safety on the team.
Okay, but the
this is your
perception-
site.
Yeah.
This is the site you use. I'm telling you what their metric might be. I don't know. I think he's number 2 in the league right now. So
you would only put Kyle Hamilton in front of him.
Yeah, I would put Kyle Hamilton in front of him, and I would put Antoine Winfield just behind him because of the injuries. Like Antoine Winfield is amazing, but I think because of injuries over the last couple of years, maybe slowing him down a bit, and putting him 3rd. I'm putting Brian Branch 2nd. Because of those stats, because of what we watched last year, and because he did that improving with a bad defensive line. You know, let me not say bad defensive line. With a defensive line that was riddled with injuries.
Unsettled, yeah.
He did that last year. What they talk about, the sophomore slump? Well, there was no sophomore slump, and he got better with less.
How about this? He also did it transitioning to that position. He didn't play that position 2 years ago.
On the fly.
Right.
Yeah, so
that's what impresses me probably as much as anything else.
This goes back to, like, this is what I really appreciated about Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell in the beginning of their mission. They were going after certain players from certain institutions because they had certain coaches. You go after Alabama guys in the last 5 years, you know you're good because Nick Saban coached them up right. Because Nick Saban came up with one of the best quotes I ever heard. So how do you deal with all these, all these lions that you have? You got this guy and these receivers and these, in terms of the players that were 5 stars, the players that were first-round draft picks. How do you deal with all these? You hire lion tamers. This is one of the best quotes I've ever heard. You hire lion tamers. So you get coaches that know how to tame these lions. That's what you get. Jim Harbaugh in Michigan the last 3 years. You can say what you want to about the asterisk and all that other stuff. Look at the players and how they've been coached and how it is transitioning into the NFL. I've been watching Mason Graham highlight.
Yes.
Oh, my God, he is a monster. But they went after certain institutions. You got Ohio State kids. You got Alabama kids here. Georgia kids here. Michigan kids here. They went after these institutions that still were coaching their players. Like in the midst of NIL and all this other stuff, there's still some guys that are coaching, and Brad Holmes tends to go get those players.
Speaking of Michigan, Aidan Hutchinson, obviously a proud Michigan alum. He's so successful. He's forcing a lot of people to take notice, including one of Detroit's draft picks, Ahmed Hassanin, the 6th-round choice out of Boise State, said he studies Aidan Hutchinson's tape. And Hutchinson, comically, he didn't say this in truth. He wasn't mad about it. He said, "Stop studying my tape." Whose tape did you use to study?
None of my teammates, but Jerry. I studied Jerry, Torrey Holt, Randy, T.O., Fitzgerald, and Marvin Harrison. That's who I watch my film.
So Torrey Holt's an interesting one, isn't it, guys? Because you're not built the same way at all.
Route runner extraordinaire. Also, too, when I was coming out of the draft process, his agent was one of the agents I interviewed because I always respected Torrey's game, even at NC State. So I just love the professionalism in the game. Caught everything with his hands. That's why his hands look like mine. But I love the professionalism and the discipline as it related to the game of being a wide receiver. That's what I studied.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me that Hassanin, not just because Hutchinson's such a good player, but he says, look, that's the guy I want to be like. I want to steal all his moves because when he comes in and just swims inside, makes the tackle, he plays free. The reason I bring this up is because of that line. You said what Brian Branch, what some of the best safeties that you were just talking about, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, you want Brian Branch to get there to play free. What does that mean?
To get free is to be able, all this athletic ability that we're talking about, all this athleticism, the 4.2, the 40-inch vert, however many times you put up 225, whatever your 3-cone is, whatever the L drill is. When you're free, you can use all that. Mm-hmm. Like when you're free, you can see all that on full display. Like when you got to shed 2 blocks or I got to get off this, you don't get a chance to see all that take shape. So playing free, a lot of Hall of Famers are in there because they play free. You know what I'm saying? John Lynch is one of them. So playing free allows you to use all that skill, all that, the testing, all the results from the combine. It allows you to do that. It allows you to play that way. So being free is the way to go, but you got to have teammates. You got to have damn good teammates to be able to play that way because they got to occupy their man. The more occupying we can get, the more free you play.
Folks, 52 games away before the end of the baseball regular season. Tigers do win today, 7-2. They're 64 up. They are 46 down, okay? It is a team that is now on a nice little 4-game roll. They go to Philadelphia. Their lead in the division is at 9.5 with Cleveland yet to play. Philadelphia is just a half game back of the Mets. So just so you're aware, keep you updated. Tigers a winner today and off to Philly.
24 hours, what do they do? Because that's what it is. They got 24 hours before trade deadline closes. They got a pitcher. Is it? We said starter, reliever, bat. Where are you after the Paddock pickup? Is it still those 3? Or are you now like, get a better starter in the back?
Well, considering Alex Cobb may come back,
okay,
and they use some free agency money, I think $15 million in the offseason, I want to say, to get him. Considering they just traded for Chris Paddock, I would be surprised if they got another starter. Plus, they like what Troy Melton brings, even though it's only been 2 starts. So I'd be surprised if they target another starter. I think they're crazy if they don't target a reliever. Now, you can use some of your starters as relievers in the playoffs. That's not uncommon by any stretch, and they've got some guys who've done it before, so that's fine. I would just rather have some type of swing and miss guy at the back end of my bullpen since you haven't had that all season long. At one point, I think at least before the Arizona series, they ranked 30th in that, swing and miss. And I think you got to have that in the playoffs, and they don't have that right now. So that's something that I would really like to see them do. Whether or not they get a third baseman, so in other words, if they got a David Bednar, they got a Ryan Helsley, someone like that. I like Pete Fairbanks. I think he's a good pitcher out of Tampa. He could provide that. Whether or not they go for a third baseman, whether it be an Arenado or maybe a Suarez, I know everybody wants that. Yeah. Those prices, I think, are going up and up and up. And I think the prices for the relievers are going up, too, because the Mets need one, the Yankees need one, the Cubs need one, the Rangers need one. Those teams, from a historical standpoint, if I put the 5 teams together, those 4 teams I just mentioned, the Tigers, not that you should label the Tigers this, but of all those 5 teams, which one has the history of dealing away prospects to fill that need? It's not Detroit.
Yeah.
Because Dave Dombrowski's not in the front office. Okay? So it's not. And that's not a knock on Scott Harris. I'm not saying he should. I'm just telling you that is not the way it is. If prospects, or I should say if bullpen arms are going up, in all likelihood, you're going to get outbid by somebody. And this is where I always tell people, this is the difference in baseball between the haves and the have-nots. When they talk about market size, so sick and tired about markets. That's such bull crap, okay? It's about whether or not a team can spend and afford to lose the money. It's really hard for a team like Detroit, Kansas City, Pittsburgh to sign somebody, and that somebody is a bust. The other teams can sign them and say, you know what, we'll cut our losses right now. I know we owe them $25 million. It doesn't matter. That's not what mid-major, quote-unquote, markets can do. So my hope is that Detroit is able to at least get a relief arm by the time we are done talking tomorrow.
And I was going to ask you, because all of this is within the frameworks of this team being ready to potentially win a World Series this year. Because that's
wide open, Kool-Aid.
Exactly. You look back at last year.
It was wide open last year.
And they made the marginal moves, and it was okay. I see your face.
The marginal move. They sold last year. They didn't acquire.
Yeah.
They sold Mark Canha.
Outside be nice.
Okay. They sold players instead of they acquired young players. They weren't playing last year.
No.
It didn't really matter.
Now this year though, you got World Series expectations. I am hoping they go in there and they move aggressively. Like at first, I was one of the guys who thought, okay, maybe they need maybe a bat, maybe an arm.
So you have to tell me what is aggressively.
I wanted them to go out there and legitimately add somebody that we knew could be relied upon to be a starter, whether we needed him to or not. Because I had some fears, some concerns with Flaherty, and you got to consider Reese Olson, which the unfortunate news of him getting shut down.
Casey Mize has been terrible in his last 3 seasons.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, let's get on. I thought that we had solved the bat issue.
Pitches through 2
I still think we need a strong one, bro.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. My question is always this: who did you want? What are you willing to give up? Those are important things. Are you willing to give up? Like the Tigers supposedly don't want to give up top 100 prospects. You know, they've got a number of guys in that. No one's suggesting you give up Kevin McGonigal or Max Clark or Bryce Rayner or anybody like that. But I'll dip into, 13 Max Anderson.
Yes.
I would trade Max Anderson.
We're talking about a World Series, man. We're talking about a World Series, and that to me is where
but here's their response.
Different. And they're right there.
Yeah, but their response would be, there's nothing guaranteed. Just because you make that trade doesn't mean that you're going to be – we saw the Mariners go through it. They didn't win it.
We saw the Tigers load up for many years and had one of the most feared pitching lineups ever, especially when they added that David Price to it. I get it, man. I get that.
I still cannot believe, the top 10 players in MLB history, 4 of them are Detroit Tigers, and they all played on the same team in the same era, and we have nothing to show for it.
Dang.
I know money isn't everything. It is not. But that when you look at that, if you just saw that list.
Wait, top 4 players in Major League history?
The top 4 earners in Major League
history.
Earners.
I'm sorry.
Price-wise.
Okay.
Miggy, David Cone, Scherzer, Verlander.
David Cone didn't play for Detroit.
Not David Cone, I'm sorry.
Price. Mr. Price. Yeah.
David Price.
Yeah, Price. And then may have been one more, but it's 4.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
No, I hear you. I mean, that's still one of those ones. Like your question earlier in the week or last week was fantastic. Which the team, that you wish had won, and that is one of those teams where how in the hell did you not win?
It's crazy,
but they didn't, and that's the reason some people are a little hesitant to pull the trigger on something like that. And I can't necessarily blame them. I just don't know how fast tracking some of these young guys are, and who you might have within your system who would bring you something similar to what some of these back-end bullpen guys could bring you. I don't think it's going to cost as much as a lot of people are making it out to be because they're rental players. Okay, Bednar actually you'd have for 2 years, this year and next. So that's kind of a good thing. All right, let's get to the mailbox. Let's get to the final thoughts here with anybody on the chat.
Yeah, definitely. There's a little bit of breaking news, and I saw Dante151, one of our chat members. He alerted me to this just as I was actually seeing it break, and we sent it to you guys. I saw Ricky over there was making some noises too. Breaking news: Yahoo Sports, former NBA star Gilbert Arenas and 5 other defendants, including suspected high-level Israeli crime figures, were arrested today on federal indictment alleging they operated an illegal gambling business in which high-stakes poker games were played at an Encino mansion that Arenas owned, according to statements released by the U.S. Attorney's Office, Central District of California.
Who leaked
more gambling, bro?
First of all, who leaked this? Who leaked this? Because having a poker game at your crib is technically it's illegal, but it's not legal. Guys have been doing this since Prohibition days. This is Prohibition days.
They make TV shows out of this stuff. In so many different comedies.
What is this? I'm confused with what this is.
That's confusing to me. I thought it was something similar to what you were going to say with the Emmanuel Class A.
How much were they playing for these games, if that's the case? Are these $1 million games?
Well, could be. I mean,
it must be.
I've been on NBA planes, man. I mean, those stakes get high. That pile gets really high. We're talking about Ricky money right here. There's 20s.
You who?
all the
Ricky
way
Bobby?
All the way up.
I didn't play the NBA, but we had that.
You had that
too.
kind of game too. I bet you did.
Those plane rides. Oh boy, they get interesting. I know a dude that got booed. This game called Boo Ray, and boo means you lost. You got to match the pot. That pot was $65K when he got booed, so he matched it.
Oh my goodness!
And then we all re-anted the next bet anyway. So that pot was like 180. Hey, I'm not gonna tell you who lost, but he used to play here in Detroit. I tell you that,
dude. That's a stressful day right there. If that's on the way to the game, you are freaking out the next day, and if it's on your way back, you're wondering how am I going to tell the missus something like that.
Tell her.
You know what I learned? It doesn't have to be. It didn't have to be. You choose to stay your dumb self in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You choose to gamble.
Yep.
You chose to keep going. You chose to say, you know what? Nah, this is going to be the hand. No, it's not. Just like the last one wasn't the hand.
Yep.
So I lost my fair share of money, but I ain't never blamed nobody else.
Yes. A rich man told me one time in a casino, that's why they call it gambling and not winning.
Yeah, that's well said.
It was one of the best things here. I'm like, that makes sense. He's like, call it
Don't get me
gambling,
wrong now. You know, you catch a nice run in blackjack and you just feeling it. Every move you make is the right move. Like, there's something enticing about that, man.
Dog, the chat is on
right
it,
now.
man. The chat is on it. 3-on-3. I see him in the chat. 3-on-3. Kurt says him and Brandon Jennings be betting $50K on 2K.
Well, yeah, I know that.
You
Like,
know they gotta have
get,
that type of stuff.
Nah, Brandon Jennings don't have $50K to be betting on 2K.
Yeah,
like Gilbert, yes. B Jennings, he looks a little.
Allen Iverson.
Nate,
AI's money just kicked in. I'm so happy for AI.
That Reebok,
that Reebok deal kicked in.
That
but
50
Reebok,
million,
whoever structured that deal for him and his agent, and Reebok,
bro.
Reebok had a ton of love for AI because the way in which it's coming back full circle, like I just say, like that boy needed that cash, and he's got a lot of it, and he's also regained the respect. I'm happy for Allen Iverson.
It's because he lost a lot of it downtown when he was a Piston.
I agree. He lost a lot of respect too.
Yeah.
I agree.
We got a couple questions in here. One about the Pistons. We'll start with this one first about somebody in NFC North.
Yeah.
Kevin T says, mailbag, if the Bears choke this year, how long does Ryan Poles have as GM? 1 or 2 more years?
Well, he brings in a new coach. He's the one who drafted Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze. I guess it depends on how bad they fail. I would guess they just signed him to an extension too. So my guess would be he's got this year and at least next year.
I think he has a strong 3 years.
Cool.
I think he has a strong 3 years. At the end of the day, he drafted the quarterback that everybody in mind was going to draft. Like the smart ones, there was only a few of them that knew Jaden was the best draft at that particular moment. So he drafted Caleb. That's what everybody was going to draft. Eberflus was already there. He didn't hire him. He hired the coach that everybody essentially wanted, and Ben Johnson. So I don't think he gets punished. I will tell you this. It is looking like a bleep show in Chicago right now. Practice today. You heard about that?
Yeah, there is some disconnect between Ben Johnson and his quarterback. By the way, I wanted Jaden Daniels. I said that before the draft. By the way, it doesn't mean I'm right. Just one season doesn't prove it. But just for the record, but there seems like there is a little bit of a disconnect.
Because he left a situation where you had a mature quarterback, cerebral quarterback, doesn't come with much baggage. All he wants to do is play quarterback, play the game, figure out where his niche was, which is here in Detroit. So he paid him $53 million. You have that quarterback operating like a grown man, and also he came from a different era when he got drafted in 2016 out of Cal. Fast forward, you go to Chicago with a quarterback that's in a newer era that likes to wear fingernail paint, that is a different individual trying to figure it out, very emotional. You can see it unwinding as he plays. Like the temperament is very different than what you just left. So now you have to get used to coaching this temperament. Oh, by the way, his playing style is also not what you're used to in Jared Goff.
So you expected this different transition.
100%. I think it's gonna work, but it ain't gonna work till later on in the season. Gotcha. And I don't think it works to the tune of them being a playoff team. I think it works out to the tune of them being 9-8, 8-9, and just beating up in the division. Like, hey, look, Green Bay, we're going to take you guys to the end of the game. Lions, you're going to beat us, but we'll have a chance with 8 minutes and then you blow us out. They're going to beat some teams up, but it's going to take a while.
They're going to have to figure it out. Yeah. And if they figure it out later than earlier, I mean, it might be way too late, at least to salvage the season. All right, one more quick one before we get out of here on the Braylon Edwards Show.
Dante151 actually asked this one yesterday as well, and I was going to get to it, but time just flies on the 2 to 4 show, man. Fun. He says, Dante151, mailbag, it came out that Rajon Rondo wants to mentor Cade Cunningham and help Cade grow as an NBA player. Would you allow Rondo to mentor Cade? Me personally, I would. Those point guards from a facilitation standpoint that did it at the highest level and won a championship, I definitely would say have as many of those people at least around. We know that these players in the summer, they get opportunities to go and work out with this player or that player. It's been Kevin Durant 1 year among others, as well as the select team. I absolutely would welcome guys like Rajon Rondo, low turnover, high assists, facilitate at the highest level. I wouldn't be mad at that at all, man. Shout out to Rajon Rondo. He says he sees greatness in Cade Cunningham.
Rajon Rondo is one of the most underrated point guards in the history of the NBA, and I'm not talking about just in the specific window that he played in. Underrated in history. What he was able to do on that Celtics team, I know they had this star and that star and that star. What he's able to do for that team and how he grew as a player and how he was able to lead them. Playoff Rondo was a real thing. Yeah. And even now he's still dialed into it. Look at when the Lakers won the championship. He was on that team. Bring him in as hell yes. I will bring him in for
I'll be the dissenting voice and say no. I don't think you need any more coaches. I don't think he needs necessarily Rajon Rondo to reach that next level. Cade Cunningham's been fine without him. I think he'll be fine without him as he moves forward.
Hey, let's go.
That's what makes sports.
But he's not a player, though. You're bringing him in just on the staff, like much like what's name's on.
That's what I say. I don't think you need another voice. I think he's doing just fine. I think one more voice, who knows?
Where's the championship voice, though? Does Jarrett Jack have a championship? Does J.B. Bickerstaff have a championship? Rajon Rondo would operate kind of like a personal guy that has championships, multiple championships, knows that space and can kind of help Cade dial in. There were a lot of moments last year in the playoffs where you can see Cade was looking for more.
I get it. Ron Harper was on a staff. He won championships. He didn't do anything as a coach. I don't personally.
Harp looking for a check. Harp's looking for a check. I know Harp personally. I love Harp.
I'm not.
Harp looking for a check. Rondo's looking
didn't do a whole lot as a coach. I'm just not. To me, that doesn't seem to matter much to me. But maybe it would matter to Cade Cunningham, and maybe it would influence him. So I suppose it's worth kicking the tires. That's it for this edition of the Braylon Edwards Show. Thanks for watching on Woodward Sports. We're back with you tomorrow, 2 to 4, on a daily basis. And follow us on our socials. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.
See you.
Let's go.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Lamar looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.